One, two, three, four. Three, two, one, yeah!
Okay. Oh. That's perfect. Kat, yeah. Wow, you did so good. Okay, but don't knock it over. Also, don't hit all the buttons.
Plan to catch that big red lobster man. Let's pop him in a boiling pot. When he's done, we'll burn him up. La 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 la.
I think there was a raid. Hello, raiders. Hi. Welcome in. My name's Danny.
_ZA just gifted 100 subs. You are keeping it so weird, thank
No,
you.
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 that's gonna go for no, 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 no. Okay. 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 You know. We're just gonna sit down for a minute. You know what?
Are you tired of feeling like you're the only one who sucks? Come to kimmaginaryfriend stream and watch someone suck even more than you in a public place on the internet where it stays forever.
What just happened? Serious? No. Serious? Look. Serious? Look me in the eye, Sirius. Look at this right now, Sirius. No!
Carrot, this mug is delightful. Thank you for being so gross on stream with your love. It's so gross. It's so gross. I love watching you two so much. It's so delightful. What an inspiration. And also... Quack.
Something very important. Please take your seats. Everybody, please take your seats. Very important, very important, very important. Nelson has done something very important. Please take your seats. Hi!
My usual audition songs. This was a jingle for Trident gum that I just made up. Your teeth are your skeleton escaping. Oh my gosh. No! We're singing the Outside Bones song.
Are you tired of feeling like everyone likes you? Get over to Kimmaginaryfriend and get a reality check.
Breathe
Sorry,
in.
flash stick, how many? Is that 5,000 bits? Oh, absolutely not.
Imagine
Oh,
feeling
cool, I get
stressed
out
on
of
a
jail
stream.
free then? Cheryl,
Streaming is
5,000.
cardio.
Flashstick, congratulations on finding the new alert. Turns out it sets off 2 right now. Because Flashstick set off the Twitch alert, which set off Twitch, which sets off the Stream Elements alert. All things I didn't think through.
Happy Chairathon, everyone! Tee-hee! It doesn't make it better, Dermo. It doesn't. I don't think anything makes this better. Tee-hee! Okay, what am I doing now with myself?
Stop. So stupid. Just stop. Just, you can stop at any time, right? I can stop. Okay. It's starting to... Oh, okay. Since following Kim's life advice, I have $1 million in stolen Confederate money in the bank, and I no longer have asthma. I don't know what I'd do without her. A satisfied customer. That's a real testimonial. I didn't pay for that. That came free.
And that's streaming. Could you turn your microphone off, please?
Sorry.
There you go. That's what streaming is, and that's what we've come today to talk about, my friends. Here we are. Hello,
What is there
everybody.
to talk about? What else? No,
Let's speak for itself.
That sums it up, really.
Covered it.
I mean,
Covered it.
Well,
Karen-
see you later.
Karen did say we should probably just rate out.
I think GG's. Who we rating? This seems
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Creators Check-In.
Hi.
We're checking in.
I feel so checked.
You feel checked?
I feel so checked.
Feel checked?
Seen after
Yeah.
that series of clips.
That accurately represented my soul. Hi,
What's going on
friends.
deep down inside?
Yeah, exactly.
So many people.
Hi,
So many
lovely.
nice people.
Everybody.
Carrot, Beppy, Saint, Magic, Franco, Ooh, Andrea, James, Cause, Nick. Wait, scroll, Drongo, Hadzana,
We had cameras, too.
Hadzana,
Let's
You
go
can-
higher.
Happy Campers.
You can pull that closer. You can also
James,
make it
hello.
bigger.
Let
if you
me
need to.
live. Razor.
Just an iPad.
Hi, Captain. No, I
don't
wish
have
to
to
do it this
scroll
year.
like
Hi,
that.
Raven.
You can
Raven,
make it
hi.
better.
Reaching is
Durmo.
necessary.
Raven, hi.
Bigger TVs
Good.
next time.
This is-
Yes.
we're-
That's a 2
Yes.
giant
Pause.
TVs. Just so we can't see each other.
Hi.
Bad
Right.
Hi, Hi, welcome
Hi,
in.
Magic.
looks winter, and
Hi,
yet Kim looks
Franco.
summer.
Good.
Look
We'll
at-
go with this.
Look at Bad Beast don't get to say.
Hi,
There's like Brenda, Danny,
love you.
Yoga, and then Doomer.
Doomer.
Yeah, can't say
Doomer?
anything.
Is that you?
It's
Doomer?
leaking from the ceiling to Danny's
Luke, don't you
floor.
geek me on this, the day of the
Oh my
creator
God,
check-in.
same.
I am a professional today.
Keep
I don't- what does that mean?
I don't know.
Hi, Jenny.
What? I don't know what that means.
Hi, love.
What do you mean you're just leaking from the
leaking
ceiling
from the ceiling
to Danny's floor?
Oh, wow. Who's
Franco,
doing
I have
that?
questions.
Franco,
James.
Franco, I
Hi.
have questions.
Hi.
I know you
please
love that.
elaborate.
It's so early in the stream to use the word leaking.
Also into your basement.
I'm sorry, do you not like the word leaking?
What's the problem?
Danny, you don't like leaking? Can you tell me
Get
more
right in
about
there.
why you don't
Get
like
right
Can you
leaking?
imagine what this sounds like?
It sounds great to me.
Really
I'm right here. I was like, who
We
the hell
just
said
lean
that?
in real
And I
close
was like,
to the
oh,
microphone and
Kim
we
got a little
only
close to the
talk to you
microphone.
like
I was,
this
oh, that's good.
for the rest of the
Leakage
stream.
is worse. Leaking can be used
wow.
any time of
It's
day.
Kim drooling again.
Yeah.
Shut up, Andrea.
Jenny said hi to everybody but me. Wait, and I have a thing. I have a button for that. Wait, I have a button for that. I have a button just for Jenny. I want everybody to know that I did call this the Jenny button, and then I didn't call the Jenny button. Now I do want to go back to it. That's for the Jenny.
It's good. We're starting off strong.
Yeah, that's a button for Jenny.
Strong.
Oh,
No
Sorry,
context,
I meant
that's
Kim's
just-
cam
this is the
cut
opener.
is going over the
The
square
opening
a
tried to
bit.
use clips.
I'm sorry,
Da-da-da.
Frankie, were you trying to be subtle talking to all of us?
Think of the size
new
of
here?
pen you would have
Oh,
to build to
Jesus.
put context around that.
Wow.
you're talking about
You're right,
him,
it's
not
better.
Yeah, him, yeah.
We were trying
Jesus,
to-
Franco,
this is
just
for
say it.
Lola's
Just say it,
eyeballs.
Franco.
Some people's moms.
No,
Good
two
Lord.
eyeballs, two eyeballs.
Yeah.
Also, that wouldn't be Danny's
Ew,
basement.
pause,
That's
ew.
Danny's ceiling.
Why are
We
you all
stacked
averse
three
to
years
being
of nonsense into a 1 hour hangout. It's
Now
true.
we've just layered.
Melface! Hey, Melface! 101! I like that we just clap. We clap here.
It's good.
So we do. We clap, clap,
like it.
clap, clap.
Good job, good job.
Thank you for
Welcome in,
openly
Mel.
chirping me in my own Discord. That was
There we go. Look at that. Mel
charming,
lost her
lovely.
needles.
Just charming.
And there's floss everywhere. We're gonna hang in here until she weaves herself back together.
Mel is playing a
Dry
game
erase girl,
that you
welcome
don't
in.
play. You just let your phone sit on and do it, and then they're
Don't
like, "We're
play.
playing this really cool game," except they're not. They're not playing it at all. Their
Oh.
phone is just like,
The stank that you were putting on that
Oh, wow.
in that chat was it was chef's kiss.
Don't judge us.
Kiss.
It's too late, Mel. Oh, I've been judging all day.
That's the snark cam. You leaning in and ASMR.
We found this.
That's snark.
I don't have a snark cam, so I'm just gonna lean in really close to snark you.
Snark.
Hey,
Love
Mr.
those.
Crow.
And Kim's like right on the
Thanks
side
for
of
coming in.
the alert, so it's actually quite frightening when you lean in and do that when the alert's happening.
That's right.
Same
It's
Right,
a
and
jump
it's just
scare.
like,
Yeah.
wham.
Jump scare.
Yeah.
It's just you peeking out of
That's
the
right.
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Oh, I wonder what it looks
sweetheart.
like. Could you lean in again just for that? I just want to see. What does it look
there we
like
go.
if we just do this?
So,
Yeah, there you go.
Kim extra means it.
That's your new Star
Just a
Cam.
little
You lean
snark.
in and I play that.
That's perfect.
Yeah, okay, good.
What a team. It's the perfect game, Uru. Stop it.
beautiful.
Stop. Why don't you go eat a kale salad, Uru?
Wow. 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 Wow.
What have I walked into?
Have you never been to a Kim stream before? Did you see what was this clip
Kim
that
on
you
a
played and you were
I'm
like,
not standing here in 8 onesies wearing googly eyes.
But you're not doing that. Like in your heart, you are
You're not
always
doing
wearing 8 onesies and Google.
There are people who can't unsee that.
Do you know
It's
what's
true.
we are surrounded on just for like comfort objects.
Are you still muted?
no, you're fine. You're
Oh,
good.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, it's fine.
Sean's
It's
just
back.
letting us have our own time, the way you'd let a toddler like tucker themselves out before bedtime,
good, I like
and
it.
you're like, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Go have
We're ready.
a run
We're
around
ready
the
to
park.
stream again.
Exactly.
I
Sorry.
feel
Sorry.
like you set this
Sorry.
up on purpose so that it's like the soft kindness on one side of the table and the snark reality on the other.
Soft kindness? You mean the White Room people?
Rude. Accurate and rude.
I didn't set anything up. I just showed up. That's not true. I've been setting up for days. Look at this shit. I started the whole studio here.
There's a whole lot of stuff set up.
There's a whole lot of shit set up.
Well
Long
done.
time to
We
get
can
to this
see them
warehouse.
right there.
It's so
perfect.
nice. We can see all of you. Hi, Glued. Hello, lovely. Oh,
Love
Taco
this
Cat.
so
Hi,
much.
Taco Cat.
Why, James? Why do you love this so much? Why could anybody love this
I
so
ask
much?
myself that every single time I stream. Out loud and internally. Why are you in here?
Yeah, why?
Why are
Why?
you like this? Why does anyone come?
Why
to
are you so
any-
nice to me?
Yeah.
Just like so many
Why
outside
are you a
questions.
boner?
Yeah, it's
You know,
exactly-
like constant questions.
Very different vibes on the different tables. It's true.
Same
yeah.
vibes.
Different
and
vibes.
Different.
Different way. Yeah.
It's good. We're covering a lot of
I
perspectives.
love 3/4 of this.
So
Thank you, Tech. Tech's here just for me.
Okay, perfect.
In here just for Sean.
We all are,
Okay.
truthfully.
Thank you, Tech.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Andrea muting them. Such a Sean move. This was very Sean of Sean. Peak Sean.
I can just, I can,
Lead up.
oh yeah, I have the bleep button over here. I can
You have a bleep button?
I can bleep anytime you want.
I mean, okay.
Sean, I think you're great and cool and fun, and you look great. And well, you know,
Sean, I think you're
I suffer.
Danny swears. Confirmed. Danny swears confirmed. She did it. She said it. She said something horrible, everybody. It was really mean and bad, and it was really... If
Terrible
you think...
words.
Oh, my God.
Terrible word. I should have done a shock face.
Also, it's totally appropriate over here.
Totally appropriate.
Yeah. This is like 20, 35, 87 plus. You have to be 87 years old to be in here.
Understandable.
So, Jenny, you can stay. Everybody else, you gotta go.
What the fuck are you talking about, Sean?
I don't know.
What is you on about?
Why could I? Nobody's gonna hear me over the three of you.
What
What are you talking about?
Amazing.
Wow, Brenda and Tanny. Wow.
Amazing. I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for my language. It got a little heated. Got a
Jenny,
little out of hand.
she says such bad eyesight she can't even spell the word fuck.
Oh my god.
So old she is. She can't see the key. She's like, "Where's the K? I don't know how to type."
It's already going exactly
Yeah.
how I expected.
Yeah.
Also, I actually thought that was Jenny talking.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah,
amazing.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the bewilderment of
In
the
case.
where's the key? Where I don't know how to find the K.
Bro.
Yeah, bro.
Sorry, Jenny. Sorry. It's
Yeah.
just I haven't heard your
Respectfully,
voice in
Sean.
a long time. That's all.
Yeah.
Jenny, don't leave. Jenny,
don't
I love
leave.
you.
Jenny, it's next to the J. I can
Jenny.
leave. Yeah,
Jenny,
you can leave.
don't be a boner. Stay.
Aw.
Don't be ridiculous. Everyone loves you.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I
Also,
actually can't
God.
picture Brenda cursing. Glued. I swear in my. I swore like 6 seconds. I think one of my first sentences when you all came over, we probably had to swear it.
Yes.
I just don't do it on stream.
Franco, don't you at me.
Well, it's 'cause we need
You
to
remember
protect-
last time
we
that
need to
happened in
protect
here.
the piggies.
Exactly.
Something about piggies?
And also my sweet little like.
We have piggy.
Look how
13
distressed. Look at how distressed.
Look how distressed a red crayon is.
PG. PG-13. Piggies.
Little piggy 13s.
Oh my god, you
They're
guys are so
blushing.
lame.
Crayons are deeply innocent.
I love that Brenda's like, this is exactly how
Cover
this is gonna go. I was invited to
cover the little
create or check-in, and this just turned into a roast of
This
the
is
entire
important
chat.
Yeah, it's great.
PG.
Well, but we're so early in.
Counter
It's
this
it's
with a reverse roast of everybody.
so
and you're all
early.
delightful. Happy New Year! I'm so
Razor.
happy to see you all.
Hi, Razor.
Oh yeah, it's a new
You
year.
made
That's
all of
right.
this possible.
Danny
Yeah, it's
came
a
out
new
of
year.
stream break
true.
I did.
for this.
Yeah.
Wait, did you?
With
Take
the
a whole
exception of
day
a
off.
secret, a Danny Source secret pop-up,
Yes.
a little artsy pop-up,
To make
which
sure
was
that the
delightful.
gear works.
That counts as a stream. I pop
Because
up
we've been
all the
wanting to
time.
do some secret streams, and I'm like, I would, but all of my gear exploded.
Remember
so
when you
my
first
goodness.
messaged me and you were like, "So the monitor's on fire"? And
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds bad. Sounds bad.
That's
Sounds
interesting.
bad. I just
Did you
wanna
just say
be a
that
horrible
the
goose.
chat makes this all happen? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh.
Bless them.
Well, on this
Reverse
channel,
roasting.
they don't. I don't think anybody did anything here. I plugged everything in. I don't think these fuckers did anything.
Hey, Mac.
I did nothing.
Very different vibes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy they're here. I think. But
It's
Are
still
you?
early.
Are
But
you
they didn't
happy?
make-
Are
they
you?
didn't make
You
this happen.
just told Jenny to leave.
oh, not yeah. I didn't say
You
that.
specifically
No,
were
no,
like,
I would
you
never.
Can come
I
in,
comment?
you can come
No,
in.
no,
You
no,
have
no.
A
to
lot of
leave.
redheads for my TV. There's just a lot of redheads.
Yeah, we have.
That's why I put a
strict
toucan.
redhead. That's good.
So I put a toucan.
Try to even things out.
And I put the rest of my I put my hair down here.
It's good. Dumore has a
And
lot
then
of buttons.
that's there.
What's that? Remember one of these things?
Dumore
is not
get
like
more
the other.
buttons is all the
Remember that?
goblins
There's
have
like
to say.
4 squares.
Oh, Razor.
Having one moment of peace.
Somewhere in the deep
Just
recesses
peace.
of my memory.
Yeah.
But
No,
that's
you know
the
what?
only line I also remember.
Yeah,
so,
same.
So I can't help.
It would have been like 3 bicycles and a horse. I don't know.
I did everything Sean said, James. All right, I do want to address Razor though. There will be no buttons here. There's only one button, a big donation button, and that's the only button to be pushed in here, very specifically, so that all those dollars can go towards helping creators, and that Amazon. Not that I care about Amazon, but they don't get any of the money. The creators get all the money. That's what happens here.
Which Mr. Crow already did. Thank you very much, Mr. Crow, for locating that button in a hot second.
All the people doing
Hot
all the
second.
things.
Is this Hollywood Squares? I'll take Kim for the block, please. You're great. You're great, and I love
I don't really know what that means.
I was thinking that this is probably actually.
Or just won the game.
No, we're not talking about the game. Did I just lose the game?
You lost the game. I know.
No.
It's okay. We can restart.
Why
can
would we
restart.
start today? Like,
You know, it's to You're trying to come in hot with the leaking was a distraction.
Why did I agree to any of this?
I gave you an emotional
This is the problem.
support stuff.
You have to just not have words that bother you.
What's that?
You have to
just
make
for
sure
Sean.
words
I
don't
know.
bother you.
Words don't bother
That's why
me?
I have
For
so many.
example,
That's why
leakage
there's enough
should
for
not
me
be
to
a
be
word
like,
that
Oh.
is
you
painful.
get it,
No words bother
you get
me.
the chicken, and I get the
Moist.
crayon.
Yeah.
Thank you for dropping the link.
Nothing bothers me. I don't care.
Same.
Okay,
You're
say whatever words you
awesome.
want.
Great, I will. Wait, watch, I'll lean into
Andrew's
it.
out here
Yeah,
modding.
do it.
I'll just wait until they're quiet.
Like,
Ready?
just,
Yes.
yeah.
What are we doing? What are you?
Andrew's getting your dono link and, like, taking care of your business.
Oh, no. I was asking Kim what she was doing.
Oh, I was just testing to see how you guys felt about the word moist.
Chat or those two?
Whoever, I don't care.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
glad that we all got
Anybody can
real
answer it.
for that. I thought I was like, okay, we're getting to your regularly scheduled programming.
This is it.
And that's
This is
Yeah, yeah.
discuss weird terms that sound unsettling through
There is a dono link.
this is
I
my
think
first creator
Andrew, you put it
so I'm
there.
learning.
It's also down in the about section. There's like a big thing and it just says DMCS dollars. It's down there.
I'm Craig about moist.
It's this. Yeah, yeah.
I have never felt more understood.
Indifferent.
by a sentence.
Indifferent. Doesn't care.
By a sentence. Wow.
Not at
Hi,
all.
V.
Hi, V.
Regularly scheduled programming. That's right. Just
All right, let's get this show on the road. I have a question for you guys. I have a lot of questions.
Oh wow.
We're checking in.
Okay.
Good segue.
Yeah. Enough of this
Check in.
pleasantry business.
Say that, Jenny.
All right.
Oh!
Hey, oh, just Jenny with a little wee donation to start the year.
Jenny, 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 Jenny,
Yay, Jenny.
That was a flex. That
Yeah.
was so you could make eye contact with that
Yeah.
camera.
No. She said fuck. It said fuck Sean. I believe is what the message was.
Worth every penny.
Pretty sure that's what that was.
Definitely.
Jenny, you're a legend.
We love you, Jenny.
You're a legend. You're an asshole, but you're a legend. And I love you. Sort of. Kind of.
So good at being
Jenny.
Jenny. Jenny is just the best Jenny to ever Jenny.
Wow.
That means we can do more of these things.
Yes.
Hooray.
Dear diary.
Clip it.
And ship it.
You have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got questions. I got all kinds of questions. So the reason we started doing this little, whatever this is, the little check-in, is because we would have dinners and we would drink beers and we would talk about streaming. And somebody said, hey, we should throw a camera up. So we put some lights and cameras. We got 2 new studios for us. And here we are.
Just a few short renovations later.
Yeah. And I thought this is a good subsection of folks that are here. Because Danny, you've been streaming since 2020, right? On Twitch. And then Brenda, you started in 2021? 2022?
22?
When did you start?
How long have you been streaming? 5 years? Since 2020.
So 4 years.
2020. So 4
That's how I met.
Almost 4 years.
Yeah,
That's
5
so
years.
good math right
I'm
there.
at like 2.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and then Kim is
2022.
just baby.
I'm baby streamer.
You just started when?
May.
May of 2022, 23.
3, yeah.
And you're
Hey,
crushing.
Mr. Crow, there he goes. Oh, I did find a button. Thanks, Mr. Crow.
Thanks, Mr. Crow.
Brenda bullied Tim into doing that.
He did it before.
No, all he did was follow.
Oh,
and then you
really?
were like, he pushed a button, and then you were like, and he's like, fine, I'll push this button.
Wow.
It's good.
I'm
It's good.
bullying. That's my.
It's good. That's
what
we
did
all
I say?
know
What was the?
how
what
Brenda
was
does.
It?
Yes, Captain?
You pushed a button, and you pushed a button, and you pushed a button. All of you pushed a button.
Oh wait, somebody
You should
wanted
all be
to.
following.
Somebody wanted to. So they were sorry for bothering us. They wanted to offer promotion for this channel.
Great.
Oh wow!
Well, thank you so
That's
much.
exciting.
No.
Is it big follows?
Big follows.
No.
Big follows.
Get on out of here. We
Big
don't care.
follows.
Big follows.
That's how you know you've truly made it. Is when the bots come in.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you know
it.
that I'm sitting completely up on my feet just so that we can be even remotely the same height?
You don't have to tell people that. There's collusion.
And you're like, I
Are you
know.
like
We're
this?
doing the
Oh,
same.
in Kim's
It's-
frame.
No, get out. What are you doing? How far does our green screen
I like this
extend?
very much.
This
No,
is
get out,
way
get
better.
out.
This is way better. Sorry. Look at Sean's long-suffering face. He's probably just muted all of
Are you
us.
having a fun
He
creator
just
check-in?
muted all.
No.
Are you enjoying the creator check-in, Sean?
I'm fine. This is way out of line. This is so much touching. Inappropriate.
Sorry.
Inappropriate.
Okay. Okay, we're focusing.
We've been streaming for different times. Long, middle, little.
Yeah, babe. Yeah. Senior, middle.
We're like the three bears.
Oh, senior.
Yeah. Whose porridge is just right though?
Well, mine.
You're
mine.
Yeah. Franco wants to know what was on my shoulder. Could you hold that up for the camera, please?
It's cute.
We're gonna go here.
It's
Yeah.
so sweet.
It's very sweet.
This is my octopus.
Yeah. Well,
Where's the big
careful.
one?
Please say that
The-
real nicely.
My big octopus is at home.
Where is it in your house?
It's on my bed. It's by all the pillows. This is my
adorable.
This is my travel octopus. Wow, why am I tailoring my words so much?
Because Sean's literally good.
I wear my octopus.
I'm just hovering over the button. Shut your camera off.
That's what I deserve. Wow.
Just hovering over it. All right. Why did you start streaming? All of you. Why did you start streaming?
I started streaming 2 days into lockdown.
So you're like, shit, it's a pandemic. Let's stream. Panic immediately.
Yeah, I had a 12-hour day on campus with 3 different programs, so approximately 160 students sobbing because all the things they've been working on for 2 months were all being canceled, and that was Friday. And Sunday evening, we were supposed to launch this huge charity campaign. I was supposed to be playing music. It was gonna be like a fun open night where all the students were playing music and the faculty come play music. And I said, okay, well, I'm gonna be very emotionally okay with everything happening by leading everybody else. So by the time the semester ended, I had a complete and utter breakdown. But in the interim, I was like, we're fine. Let's go on the internet and press some buttons. So I did my first Facebook stream that night so that we could all just be together somehow. And then I kept doing it because people were like, this is nice and we're all together and everything's fine, right? When we're here on this internet space, I'm like, yeah, everything's totally fine. Welcome to my living room.
Seems really normal and nice.
Totally just nice and normal, this place.
We went to sleep over there.
And I think I started doing it 3 days a week. And then I saw this one was also doing some fun online stuff.
Oh my gosh,
so.
remember the Facebook experiment?
What did you see that Brenda was doing?
Well, I mean, I had been doing this thing called Art Night for years.
Yeah, yeah.
So I brought crayons to random bars around Ottawa just to make adults do art. And
Right.
There's always that situation where adults walk into a place and they see your crayons and they laugh at you, and then 2 drinks later, they are all in the crayons.
You can make that a full-time job, by the way.
Oh, yeah, good.
So I was just playing music. I'm like, I don't like eye contact very much. So here's some art supplies. Make art, and I'll play music at you. And I've been doing that for like over a decade. And I started doing it at gelato shops and things around town. And I was like, okay, well, let's just do this online. There's no more eye contact, but I don't know what you're doing. So I'm just going to play music and you make art. And people started submitting art. And then I noticed that Brenda was also doing some super cool, like, meditative
I think I was
art.
teaching. I was doing like live streams and teaching a bunch for the library.
Yeah.
Right?
You were
And doing those like
doing
sketch alongs.
But what were you doing online? Were you live? Was that when we did
a ton of sessions at the library
Yeah.
at that time online, which I feel like you and we had already crossed paths like in the real world in like
community and charity events, and you would be
panels
doing
and stuff.
community art.
We'd
and
get
I would be
hired for some of the
playing
same type of
music,
gigs. And then I remember very early on, and there's probably still a real messy YouTube video where we streamed it on Metro Lava.
Thank you, Metro.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. I don't treat a creator, but okay.
No lava here for you.
You sweet. Did you see Metro Damon was like,
Thank you,
I
Metro.
cannot sub. I wish to buttons.
Yeah.
And you can like feel the rage swelling up. Also, Drongo put our exact streaming times.
Yeah.
Because Drongo is a perfect angel and also like a living external hard
Brenda's
drive.
been streaming and affiliated 29 months, almost 2.5 years. Danny has been affiliate 43 months, 3.5 years. And Kim has been streaming about 9 months. The latest attempt.
We're just about to have a wee baby.
A wee baby. I like that you pointed to your stomach like nobody knew where that happened.
Where does the baby live?
Yeah, in the belly. Drongo with the math time.
Thanks, Drongo.
Thanks, Drongo.
And then what? Okay,
Also,
so
thank you, Metro
out
Dad.
of panic and like no eye contact, because you were doing stuff with the library, and also because you started streaming.
Yeah, so we did a couple of little Facebook live
And
things, but I was
Instagram.
teaching a ton, so I didn't fully get into, even though you were always really lovely and kind, and Sean, I know, was involved when you were starting out and just
On
kind of
Twitch,
like
yeah.
figuring out how it all worked. And a couple times Sean had been like, this might be worth looking into. And I was like, yeah, sounds great. I'm a little busy right now. And I kept
Well, you were doing
teaching,
workshop,
but
like in-person
I
workshops.
was doing tons of in-person workshops until lockdown. And
Yeah.
then I actually started streaming on YouTube with Kevin on Board Toys, and we were streaming Lego builds.
Yeah.
Because it was like a great way to get used to the live streaming space was having a co-host.
Yes, Andrea. Brenda was on YouTube first.
I was on YouTube first.
Kevin had decided that he wanted to do like a Lego
Streaming
thing at
Lego
Christmas,
builds,
but around like Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think he was done teaching.
And we were all quarantined together too, so we were kind of treating our neighbor's place and our place like a one big household, which is preventing us all from going completely crazy. And the Lego community, some of them are still like, we have a big Lego fam.
Still around.
Still, because Lego fam is like, I will support you no matter what you do all the time.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, forever. And they're just lovely, welcoming people. But yeah, I started streaming on YouTube, and then eventually we made kind of a funny transition over to Twitch. And you the whole time were like,
It's like Twitch.
Well, Danny was doing Twitch.
Yeah.
And Kevin,
what do you mean? And I was like, okay.
I think it was Kevin that was like, I hate editing videos. And I was like, well, you can go live on Twitch.
Yeah.
I was like, this lady Danny's doing it. and a bunch of other people. And then he was like, oh, okay, cool. And so, I don't know, we started buying. I think you know what our very first stream, I think, on Twitch was? Brenda and I.
No idea.
We did it was a collab stream. And it was with Kevin and Ashley and another neighbor. And we played
Towerfall.
We played Towerfall, which is the game that we had here for the Big Winter League collab.
Channel that no one has ever seen and never will see.
No.
And I was anxiously awaiting because I knew that you had joined Twitch and you had started hanging out in the community, and I was like, oh, Brenda's gonna stream. I was like, Brenda's gonna stream here. It's gonna happen. So I had your name on a list for the moderators too. It was like, as soon as this channel's live, like, let me know. And
Sean
it was
told you no, didn't he?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
He was like, no, she sucks.
I was like, no, I did. No, I did say that. Or that's what I was thinking.
He was right. It was true.
Yeah, I was like, no, this stream sucks. Don't come in here yet.
Don't bring your 250 excited people because they're gonna
I was
be
like, no.
Okay, cool, but this sucks.
She's in this tiny bed.
See my friend.
She's in this tiny bedroom. We've got like a
crap.
cloth over. Yeah, no, I was like, we don't know.
Some of my first streams, I looked like a ghost.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't actually see my face.
Still do. Some of us live our whole life like that,
winter.
Danny,
I know.
I am translucent. Do you have any idea what he had to do to the lighting to make you and me and Kim and Sean all look not dead?
Just make me look dead.
Soft
yellow light, please.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
then,
then,
I think we all did like a couple of like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and then I clicked over to Twitch for experimentation for science, and I was trying to teach my students how to go live as well because it brought me so much peace and comfort in lockdown.
Good question, Andrea. No, Danny and I met each other many moons before.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Danny's the one that I know. We've known each other longest out of everybody here.
Longer than
anyone. Longer than Brenda and I have known each other. Yeah, because
you've known Sean longer than I have.
Yeah, for sure, long time.
True.
Okay.
That's
true.
true.
Yeah. I know that I've known you for a long time, but I didn't know.
Yeah. It was before Brenda times.
Brenda, you need more hype trains for more color in cheeks. Metro Demon, have you thought about the health repercussions of this?
True.
Have you
That's
asked
just
our
that is the lack of color in all of our cheeks.
Nothing I can do with that.
I'm
you want
having
a
a
toque?
peaceful
I can get you two.
1
You want a hat?
piece.
I have the yellow too.
I have had 2 hype trains today. It is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Calm down.
Yeah. Funny. Yeah, it's a funny time. Yeah, you're having a funny time in chat.
But yeah, Danny and I met. I'm not even sure how we originally met, but then eventually we went to a park and recorded.
Did you do a music video? You did.
Well, we did. Well, yeah, a music video.
Early music video.
2015?
Yeah.
Maybe that, or 2014.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
2014 or 2015, we made our first video together, but we'd known each other. And I mean, how I know everybody is mostly through the community and the charity.
Sure, yeah.
Because we all do so much.
Yeah.
So much community work. Yeah.
Just 10 of us.
Well, I think I also knew. So I think I had been on the news a few times, and you were. This was many moons ago, but you had another connection. Yeah. And I think we connected there. Actually, I think you and I know each other longer than I've known Brenda too.
addition
the
to this
newest
whole-
person to me.
I don't even go here.
Yeah.
Nobody believes
literally
me.
can't say
Nobody
that
listens.
Yeah, so true. I think about that all the time, actually. Whenever we were sitting around, I was like, I'm pretty sure actually Kim and I have known each other.
Yeah, didn't you bring Brenda
Yeah,
into
yeah,
where
yeah,
I was
yeah,
working?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if we have to hand that I don't even go here title off to Kim.
No, I'm keeping it.
Okay.
No, I'm
No,
keeping
no,
it.
that's
Kim's
my
already
title.
a better
my
streamer.
title.
That's my title, because I barely do this.
Came in
Okay.
so hot to streaming, and I was like, Kim, please come do this weird job with me. We need more colleagues. I want more people to talk to about the weird job. And Kim was like, I mean, whatever. And then you were so good, like immediately.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sorry,
Frank,
did you look at my streams or is there somebody
I
else?
know what stream.
What?
Franco dropped our link, Danny.
It's
our first collab.
He's modding always.
Yeah, our first collab, yeah.
Franco just
Yeah.
crushes.
Wow.
That was a song
Kim, it's
that-
S tier.
Whoa,
Facts.
Carrot.
What I wrote
Hot
for
damn.
voice
And that's
sounds,
for
and
suck.
Sean volunteered
Oh,
to-
that's right. It was the voice. The shittiest tier.
That's for shitty shit.
That's shitty tier for shitty
Is that the one we
shit.
did the giant Lego Duplo blocks everywhere for? There was like those builds that you could make.
Oh,
of
that's
that.
nice. You guys are nice. You're so
They are
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
They are nice. I don't know why, but they are.
It's weird. I call them boners constantly,
And
and they're
then-
still like, "You're great."
Why did you start streaming?
Well, because Brenda wouldn't leave me alone
wouldn't
about
leave her
you
alone.
should start streaming, Kim. You should start streaming, Kim.
Hey, Kim,
Same.
start streaming.
I got an excellent example of like, are you streaming it? Are you
Yeah.
streaming it? Are you streaming it? Are you streaming?
Yeah.
Remember the Facebook, Instagram times? You should
Yeah.
do Twitch.
Yeah.
You'd be great on
I
But-
really
Do
like
you
during the
wanna-
pandemic, like when you started, Danny. I remember coming into your streams, and we had known each other for
many years before.
yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna check this out. And I didn't really get it. To be fair, I was living
Yeah.
somewhere with a lot of construction, so I couldn't really hear. And I
Yeah.
also
That
couldn't
changed the
like
experience a
Yeah,
lot.
just
Yeah.
the visual is a lot.
like the vibe
Like
was
our
very
silent
different.
puppet show earlier, yeah.
No, that was
Yeah.
art. That was
Yeah.
performance
It
art.
was.
It's
Yeah.
a silent film.
So it didn't like I couldn't even contemplate actually like I tried to do some yoga stuff, but I couldn't wrap my head around how to make even OBS work. Like I just didn't get it.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
and maybe it was like part like the mentality of being in a pandemic. Maybe that was part of it. Also living literally in a construction site that you have no like there was a lot of I think external factors that kind of made me a little more frazzled than I would normally be. So I kind of gave up, which was fine. It didn't even make a blip in my life,
Right.
really. And then when I
Oh yeah, because you were doing some yoga things like
teaching
in like
on Zoom.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
remember
as
that.
soon as the pandemic hit, the place where I teach yoga, and at the time I was a receptionist there as well, they immediately went to online classes.
They were one of the first studios
Yeah.
to figure it out.
And
Right,
they
right.
offered free classes for the
Yeah.
first month of the pandemic. So we had like 1,000 people coming to our classes.
Right.
Desperate.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. And like the very first one I taught, oh my God, so dumb. I set up my laptop or whatever device I was using instead of lengthwise, the other like short way in the room. And so you could almost see half my body. And so I stood up at one point and I was like, you can't see my head, but I promise you I have one. Like,
And then we knew you were ready for the internet.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You know that
Yeah.
scene at the beginning of The Good Place?
Yeah.
It says, welcome, everything's fine. That was my very first Zoom class. I was like,
That's-
this is just the background.
It
Yeah.
is it.
Yeah.
But you were not alone. And like, I do not know
Yeah.
how cameras or
Yeah.
audio work.
Yeah.
Right, like you didn't know how
exactly.
any of that shit worked.
And you
Yeah.
don't know what you have. You don't
No.
know what your thing. You
Yeah.
have no idea what your bit's going to be. You don't know what
Yeah.
you have to offer.
Yeah.
You're wrong about what you think it is.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, well, I thought
None
for
of us
sure
know.
it was going to be yoga.
You thought you were gonna do
yoga.
yoga.
with Kim was my
That's so
name.
weird.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a yoga person for sure. It's
Yeah.
going to be so great.
Funny you thought you would do
Sure.
a thing while you were alive.
Yeah.
Imagine
Sure.
doing something.
Oh my God. I think I've done
Imagine.
yoga. Well, maybe I've done a posture once or twice the entire time. But lots of interesting comments from strangers that really encouraged me to change my name and, and change
Yeah.
the whole vibe.
You really had to tap back into that server part of you that can be like a full-on bouncer when it is. I was so impressed. I was so impressed with
Yeah.
how you handled that stuff.
And it, like you were talking about how washed out you were at first, and like all these little, you don't realize all the teeny tiny things
Yeah.
that go into a
Yeah.
stream. Holy.
But you also don't have to do them all at once. I remember when
Yeah.
Brenda started, and and everything was like so overwhelming. It's like, well, we're just gonna do one thing,
Yes, Andrea.
And then if we just do it 1% better next time,
Yeah.
you know, and we're going to add this one thing, and we're going to add this thing. And people are going to ask questions, right? Like, what was do you remember your first stream? Like, what'd you do?
Oh, my first stream, it was using like my laptop and like cell phones.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
and
Were you playing acoustic?
I played an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, right?
And I used just the microphones that were built into the devices. And it's funny because like you felt like this sense of accomplishment at the end of that. You're like, oh, I did this big scary thing and awesome. And then like my first USB mixer, when I finally got OBS, I was like, look at this amazing setup. And I like it clicked for like 3 years. And I was like, oh, why did anybody watch this?
And did you just quietly play music for like an hour? Like, how long was your first stream, do you think? Do you remember?
First stream was about 45 minutes an hour.
45 minutes, yeah.
And
So crazy, eh?
Facebook and Instagram, you get like 12 people hanging out. But for me, I was like, there's 12
Yeah.
people here. And,
Yeah.
and like they're happy and they were posting art and
Sure.
sharing things. So that was like huge for me that anybody would be there at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're trying to sell tickets to a show here.
Yeah,
Like, okay,
yeah.
cool.
Easy.
I'm like paying people to come to shows. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll buy your ticket for you. Will
Yeah.
you come to the
Yeah.
show, please? So having anybody there, and I think what hit me first on Twitch was the fact that there were strangers there.
You're right.
Stream number one.
Yeah, why?
So all of a sudden I had to be talking between songs. It wasn't just like me introducing songs.
How long did that take though? Because did you just play song like the first Twitch stream? What did that look like for you?
Oh, I probably played a good 9 songs and I streamed for an hour.
Right,
And
and
my
then-
first 4 or 5 streams were an
Yeah,
hour with the
right.
cell phone,
Yeah.
and that was it. But I realized very quickly, like, people are looking for alerts. People need this. People need that. Like,
Right.
there's an expectation, so I need to learn what OBS is and
Yeah.
figure it out quickly.
Yeah.
So I think it was 10 days that I'd given myself, and we had some semblance of OBS. But looking back on the audio and video,
Right, yeah.
and even how I was able to interact with the chat, it exploded so quickly that I was like, I don't really know what to do anymore. So even some of my first streams, I was like, I want to try. Like, my goal for this was to be motivated to get out of bed 3 days a week and go and do things and get through some of my music goals. I'd never had so much time to practice. I was like, I really want to learn how to loop. So I would like put it in the just chatting category. Because people are going to come for music and I barely know how this thing works. And then people are going to come in and say like, you suck and I hate you. So I just put it in just chatting. So the expectations are low.
Right.
But then there's like people there watching me press the wrong button for 3 hours. I'm like, okay, there's something weirdly special about this place. So yeah, you definitely don't have to have everything ready to go when you start. And even when you think, oh, my setup is amazing, 3.5 years later, I'm still changing things.
Yeah, for sure. Always. Right? You're getting called out. 9 songs an hour.
How dare you? How dare you? I play so much music. Look at the wrap up.
And then I think one of your mods said it's closer to 0.9.
Oh,
0.9.
Yeah,
Wow.
0.9.
Yeah.
Well, I mean now, I know it's like I was for a moment I was like, why don't I put music in my username? Because sometimes people do that. It's like yoga. And people come, oh, you play music? Is that what you do? Like, no, never anymore.
But isn't that interesting though? That I think that's such a funny like phenomenon that people do think like, oh, I need to go and I need to do this like thing, and it's like, no, there's more to it than that. Like your first streams, Brenda, like what were they? Do you remember what they were like? I mean, they were very quiet.
I mean, initially, one of the things that I found really challenging was that when I looked at first, especially when you were like, I am playing music, it is super fun, and I was like, okay, I will go and look at the art.
Yeah.
And people were like quietly working on a painting for 5 hours at a time, and it was captivating, and I thought it was beautiful, and they were incredibly skilled, but also I had a really hard time picturing myself quietly working on a painting for hours at a time. And I tried it and I was like, I don't know if I can sustain my interest in doing this. I don't know if this is, I don't know what.
And the first ones were only an hour.
Adding.
They were only an hour.
They were only an hour. And
yeah.
And that was even the hour-long streams, I think. Like when I came over from YouTube to Twitch, that was almost like my second go round, because I had looked around the art category on Twitch and been like, I'm not sure where I would fit in here. And when I came over from the Lego fam, Brenda had a hard time picturing herself quietly doing stuff. Imagine.
But you know what's so funny though
but
is
that's
that
what I saw.
But it took
That's
but
what I
also
saw.
it was like that because Like,
I
remember even
tried.
filming your first Patreon video?
And my Patreon video, when I first did like an intro, and one of the things Sean is prompting me for is Sean was behind the camera and he was like, I did my first intro and he was like, that's great. Now do it with 10 times more energy, because I was like nervous and not sure about what I wanted to say or what I wanted to offer or do. And the examples that I saw was all of these like serious thinky artists doing serious thinky stuff, and that had never been my arts practice even in the real world. But
I specifically remember one of your very first streams because I remember going into them when there was like, I don't know, maybe one or two people coming in and just having like a conversation with you basically. And I remember, I think you were watercoloring something and somebody came in and they were like, oh wow, like they complimented your art, and I don't know why this one thing comes to mind, probably because there were so few people at the time who were like, it's hard to have people come in, and so it was quiet, you're quietly doing your thing, and I'm like, what can I ask, what can I talk to her about, oh god. And this person's like, oh wow, this is really good, you're so skilled, and you're like, thanks, that's nice, I practice a lot. And for whatever reason, like that really, like it's hard to imagine that journey from over here to where you are now. It's really interesting how things like, there's no straight line.
Same as a watercolor illustration. Wow, you're really good. I mean, I practice a lot. 3 times a week, 3 hours at a time. I practice a lot.
But I was so excited when you'd started, and I had gone and kind of seen some of the things that you were setting up, like, and thinking about my own journey, and I was like, okay, you got a jar, good. That's gonna be fine. It's gonna be a fine plan.
You openly mocked the jar. Don't tell them you see. You openly
seen my bowl.
Mocked the jar.
Yes. How's that working out for you?
I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about
and
that.
like channel points and things. I just knew like the things that I had. Oh, remember that first time that I had to play 42 kazoos and loop them in, and we had to turn off the redeem because everybody had just. I learned a valuable lesson about cooldowns. Like just seeing all of our friends kind of start the journey, and I'm like, okay, we're learning about channel points now. I can give you a little bit of like, no, it's gonna be fine. It's fine. I can do it. 100 redeems. I'm like, there's gonna be a day where they've all been saving up for it. I don't know where they talk. I don't know who sends the memo where, but they all know this is the day we go and we're all gonna press the button at the same time, right? So it's just really funny to watch some of our friends start off too and know the things that weren't so scalable for me, just seeing it play out everywhere. It's very entertaining.
You also, to be fair, I think and I give you a lot of credit for this because you had no interim time. We've talked about this before. Like you and I have both had the experience of like, I will begin streaming. There are 2 people.
Right.
How nice.
Yeah.
There are 10 people. Oh, lovely. There are 15, 20, couple hundred. As opposed to there are 2 people. There are 1,000 people. And they went to and now there are 17,000. They are frantic. And the New York Times wants to talk to you. That's a and no time. No time in between. And I give you a lot of credit also for your generosity of experience of being like, hey, friends, hey. Just so you know. And like it with no God, because people can tell you the things they know because they're excited that they know them. And they want to tell you because they're excited that they know, and that's fine. That's fine. You can get a lot from that. And also, there are people that can tell you things because they're like, I'm so excited that you could maybe benefit from this experience. One of them is holding open the door, and one of them is like sitting on a terrace and like yelling down to the people. And those are two different things. And you're very good at holding open the door and being like, hey, friend, just
so you know.
I don't
scared
Just
voice.
so you
Very
know.
different. As opposed to Brenda's way with me is like, I'm going to hold the door open for you. Also, I'm just going to reach forward. I'm just going to grab you by the collar and pull you in the door.
Get in here right now. Get in here, deal with what I'm dealing with.
Oh my God.
They'll look at you. They'll be nice. They'll give you ducks and quacks. Get quacked.
It was finger puppets at first.
Yeah.
I have some finger puppets for you. And I was like,
Unscalable.
I knew, and that's one of those moments too. It's like, oh,
you only got 10
get
fingers.
finger puppets to get today. I'm like, goodbye to your finger puppets today.
Yeah.
Like,
You only got 10 fingers. What are you going to do next?
The unfillable jar. What are you thinking? What are thinking calling it the look at her, the audacity.
Because it's fun. They won't get filled. They'll never get filled.
So far, I'm right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Kim
good.
wins. Kim wins.
I win.
Yeah.
Danny and I are actually sitting in this configuration.
Yes.
We are sitting in this configuration, which I appreciate because
What's happening?
we're just testing. We're just testing the boundaries.
I went to Pat and it looked
way
very
do I
scary.
I kind of
That's
know.
kind of
Like what's the hand in the Addams Family?
There. Now what are you gonna do?
Kim will be
To
fine.
what, though?
Also babysit these goblins. Yeah, Jungo, that's how I
To
know.
nothing.
This
And if they don't behave, we just turn one of them off.
No.
They just disappear. That's all. See you later.
Bring it back.
Bring what back?
Bring it back, Sean.
Kim, how have you been?
Oh, you know what?
Do you want to talk about
Thank you so
streaming?
much for inviting me
How
here
have you
today.
been?
I'm so
Oh, that's fine. Never mind. There. How do you feel now, everybody?
Yes, much better. This is
How do you
great.
feel, everybody?
Streaming time is
I've
over.
never looked so good.
No more fun toys for us.
That's true. I did.
Serious time. Don't fuck around in
I
here.
did drag you, but also I had really good examples, and the benefit of watching someone's experience was very generous. And you know, part of why Sean jokes about it, but part of why he set all this up was so that people could give it a shot in a way that takes out the I tried to start OBS and just went, You know, there's so many talented people that's what trips them up. That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
Super sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, like you were saying, you know, you can fix things one step at a time. And that's definitely my whole thing is Liz, welcome to my janky life. Now let's watch it get slightly less janky. Ooh, and now it's a little bit less. Okay, there's still a lot of jank, but you know.
No, but you know, actually, one of the things that one of the things that you did right away that I really, really loved was your homework book, and you were like, "Okay, chat, tell me what the homework is, because I don't know. This looks kind of interesting." And then you were like, "Okay, I'll write some homework down."
Yeah, it was really helpful because you don't know what you don't know. You know, and you know,
and you have to be okay with that. I think that's a part too that I think you lose a lot of people that are like, "Oh God, this is overwhelming, and I don't know how to do stuff," and "Oh God," it's it's fine.
Yeah,
it's
you
okay.
know what though?
It's okay.
I really I felt that during the summer, there was a lot of learning for me because it was brand new, and there's a discomfort, right, with learning something new, and then amplify that because you're on the internet and people are watching and they have opinions and they're allowed to chat. You're allowed. I don't know if anyone told you all,
but you're allowed to chat.
So you've all been so shy.
I just lurk and make eye contact with you.
So and people were really nice with hey, have you tried this? Your sound is weird. Try that. And
right.
Yeah. So I felt I was in a discomfort zone for months,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
actually felt really liberating to do it in front of people and to just accept, like, yes, I suck. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You know,
like, you're good at that too. You came into it with a very strong, like, you know exactly who you are. That was not, you were not getting that from an online community. Like, you were like, hello, I am here. You're welcome. But which is such a helpful thing, as opposed to like, oh God, am I allowed this space? You know, that's such, I feel like that was, it served you so well.
You know what's funny though? There is a balance. I just, on that note that I was thinking, we talked about this last night. When people are like, "Oh, the sound sounds fuzzy to me. Oh, I can't see, I can't hear," and it's like, okay, wait, there's like 50 of you.
That can be hard.
Yeah.
And like 10 of you are saying that. And if there is a tight balance, you know, between like, you know, okay, great, like everybody's super helpful, everybody's good, like, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And like, who do you listen to or how do you listen? You know, and it's like.
And for me, in a music stream,
yeah.
I mean, it became, it became the folks who are the moderators, who are the judges, who are there every stream. Like,
right.
I mean, I think you get good when the chat gets fast. Your brain just starts reading around things, right? Like reading around Nightbot and things like that.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Gives the gift, and we know it, and they know that we know.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
It's beautiful.
Hi, Kiki.
That's for Jenny.
That's beautiful.
Rude.
Hi, Kiki.
So rude.
How are you?
Also, hi, Kiki.
Very
But
kind.
Kiki's been here.
Hi,
Kiki's been
Kiki.
here.
Very, very kind. Thank you.
Oh, God.
And
say
actually,
hi
like,
to
I
you,
felt really
screen
lucky
and
because,
chat.
like, you guys have been really nice too with, like, equal parts, I would say, encouraging and also, like, this kind of fucked up, but here's what could fix it. And so that was really nice. And really, like, the people who hang out in chat are kind. Like,
So kind.
Like they're here because like
Yeah.
there's something about you that they think is pretty cool. Shut up. And so I found that there was nobody was like, I'm gonna try to like really you are mine and I am going to make this so that you are, it's just been like this really it feels like good-hearted, generous, like help without this like overbearing, hey, you need to do this.
Which is important, and I think that is something like there's little lessons that I think that a few of us have been very fortunate that we didn't have to learn the hard way when we started as well, but I have seen certain situations with like brand new music streamers who are reaching out and wanting support, and then I just see that like there's a very toxic member of the community who immediately said I want to be mod and is very controlling, and you can see it happening in the chat and things like that. So just being very careful with who you're going to trust and giving it time too. Like it's okay for you to take time to pick your moderators. It's okay for you to take time to
very important actually.
Super important.
It's probably it's more than fine. You probably should do that.
Yeah. What? You don't just give your sword to everybody?
ask Brenda about that. Ask Brenda about moderating people.
Without understanding what it meant. And it was Kevin, bless Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin was like, don't just get, because I didn't even know what it was. And I was like, this is fine. I'll just and he was
you
like,
get a sword, you get a sword, you get a sword.
That. I was really lucky that a lot of those people were also coming over from the YouTube community, so they were pretty diehard. But I truly had no idea. Truly, I had no idea.
Jenny, you know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Why is Sean a mod anyway?
She knows the answer to that. It's just so I don't get banned. Because you're a mod.
I'm a mod in a ton of places just so I don't get timed out for using caps. Because Nightbot will time you out in a lot of places for screaming.
Oh, that's funny. Look at Magic. It's like I gave one new streamer a tip about something and they gave me a sword. And I was like,
That's really funny, Magic.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. Foam sword. I get a wiffle bat sword. Cause gave me a wiffle bat sword so I can feel included.
Yeah.
It's not, and I get it taken away at the end of every show. I'm not allowed to just have it anywhere.
Mine's a cool noodle, and it's just for moderating emotes and collecting quotes.
Some people are good at streaming. Some people are good at modding.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We know our rules. We know our rules. No, I'm not allowed to touch anything. We were talking about, I showed my Stream Deck setup, and it's all labeled with things that my brain would understand, and it literally says stuff like, Brenda, this one.
Right.
No, don't touch, not for you. And this over here.
Like, and you're like, oh, dude, like, push things out.
I'm not allowed to touch it. It's great.
Kim is very good delete mod.
It's true. I am. I'm a mod in one place, and I get to delete.
That's
and
exciting.
it's my
Who
favorite.
the hell modded you?
Kiki.
Nice.
See, Kim would be a good mod. Never mind.
Well, I'm not a good mod.
Oh,
I
hi,
just
Mars.
delete people when I want
Mars
to.
is here. Hi, Mars.
Hi, Mars.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Mars,
Hi,
hi. Hi. Brenda, will you touch the Franix? Franix falls over. That was not my fault. That was not. The blame is at minimum 50-50 here, okay? I put it together dumb, but also you all made it nuts. This is not my fault.
Not my fault. Brenda.
Huh?
Kim brings chaotic joy to mod teams.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Kim knows more. Kim already knows more than me. For sure.
Kevin gave Karen a mod, then took it away.
20 seconds.
20 seconds later.
That's impressive. That's funny. That's really impressive.
Carrot's an editor on my
so
channel,
funny.
and I really rate having editors as well, but also naming your regulars and naming, like, giving VIPs. A lot of the VIPs, they have commands that they can use, and you're like the booster for the mod squad because you know all the commands, you know when it's appropriate, you know not to spam them, you're tone setters and ambassadors for the community, which is exactly the same work in a different way as the mods being like, that was rude, goodbye forever. Those are two very different, equally crucial things. And it's depending on your stream, sometimes it's literally impossible to do both.
Yeah.
And I can't do either. I can't do any of it. So.
When I learned that I could just like
Like when your
click
mom says
one
hi.
single check mark so that I could delete things. I was like, all this time I could delete it. I didn't know I had one check mark missing.
That's funny.
Why isn't there like a Twitch 101? It's like 8 months in, and
There is.
learned.
It's this. This is it. This is
This
it.
is it. Tune into this every time.
To Twitch 101.
Yeah.
In your handbag, you should have
Yes.
your hand puppet.
Yes, it's important.
Your emotional support, Steffi.
One jar that's too small.
A legion of tiny objects. Dinosaurs, crayons, ducks, whatever you fancy. I'm sorry for yelling.
You didn't yell. That was very good.
Thank
That was a
you.
nice, normal indoor
Thank
voice. That was very good.
you.
We're practicing here.
I
Even
don't
my
think any of us
quiet
got
is good.
alerts that the environment's too loud, so we're good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're good.
At least
Did you take a photo of
5,000
that? Did you ever
objects.
post
Oh yeah,
that?
I have that photo.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Was that in your stream or Brenda's
That
stream?
was here.
No, it was
That was
here.
here. Oh,
It was
it's
Here, we're just having,
Did your
dinner.
watch tell you that you were getting?
Oh yeah, we were just
That's
having
where this
dinner.
idea was
We
born.
weren't even streaming.
Yes.
We were
Yeah.
just sitting in
We're
here.
just having
Interesting.
dinner. Jenny's watch went off because she was between the two of us.
Right, right.
And
Yeah.
we were both. We hadn't seen each other.
Oh, yeah.
We were a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know
There
what we
might
should
have
do?
been a
We
glass
should
of
put that on
wine
the
involved.
internet.
Not acceptable
Yes.
behavior.
Might have been.
No, that was part of the dream for this space
Yes.
was always
Yes.
to have that, and to have it be, especially if other people in Ottawa, like Brenda was saying earlier, like if you want to stream and technology is too much,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that at some point people can just come in and we've got cameras and lights and computers and I'll produce shit and push buttons and let people try stuff. And I think part of this conversation too is like, let's make it easier for other people.
Maybe people don't have to struggle at the beginning.
Yeah, maybe.
Get out of here.
You
Also,
mean you
though-
don't have to cry when
but-
you're setting up gear?
But a little bit of struggle's okay.
Imagine not
I feel like
crying.
a little bit of struggle's good. I feel like
Imagine
when
not
you're setting
crying.
up things for a stream. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just imagine not crying just generally, because you just feel all your feelings.
and for the duration of stream,
all the
imagine
time.
not
I
just
mean, Franco, I moved in with Brenda, so
Yeah, it's a lot.
long before streaming, I knew what was going on.
stream for the spaces to always have an extremely loud environment.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Just a whole lot.
Yeah.
Just a whole lot. Mars, don't you make me cry. I will not.
Even if the tech works properly. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this crying business. Let's talk about this. Why?
No.
Yeah, why?
No.
Why do streamers cry? And two, why is it so important for the chat to see the streamer cry? Why is it so important?
Yes, chat. I think this question is for you.
Both of them.
Why
Both.
do you
why,
make us
chat?
But
cry?
why do you guys cry?
Why do you keep chanting for floor
What do you mean?
streams?
Don't you just
Tell
like?
us.
Are you just raw all the
I saw the-
time?
I
Why
saw your
do you-
Don't you
floor.
just like let your
Someone
where your
used
heart
your
like
floor.
crack
It's
open
like
your
you-
chest and just
and
like
you're like,
yeah,
and
the
it's
thing.
so
No, but why?
You
love
thank
it
Smelly
so
stuff for that one.
It's really good.
gorgeous.
I like that one a lot. It's really cute.
Crazy talented artists, I tell you.
We actually
Why
had
don't you
to
feel
have,
like you deserve it? That's my question.
we
Why
had
do
to
you
have a
cry?
conversation.
I know,
Remember?
it's like,
Why do you cry?
how much
Dare you
time
ask
do
Why
we
do you cry,
have for
you
this?
nerds?
I was like, after every single stream, I was leaving the stream room and I was beside myself. And there was a point that you were like, this cannot
I
be
think that was like stream 4 or
how
5.
you react.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to
Yeah.
do this, you have to find a way. Because I would finish streaming and I would come and be like, so nice. And I was like devastated. I was,
Yeah.
I couldn't, I mean, it might not seem like I handle things super well now, but I promise you it's better.
It is better.
It's better. And I can like feel my feeling. I can,
Also,
like,
now you can walk out of the stream and be like, that was a lovely stream.
what a wonderful time I had, as opposed to just being wrecked.
Hi, Kyber.
Yeah.
Just wrecked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Donna!
Yeah,
Hi,
comment. That's a
Donna.
good point because society teaches artists that our time and talent aren't worth anything.
Ooh, comment. Big truth.
Try coping with it. Yeah, well, that's it. But that's I think. But that's when do we reverse that?
I think that's like I don't know. I think that allowing kindness to affect you in that way isn't a bad thing. I think that when we start to, I don't want to cry on stream because that is insert whatever
Sure,
thing
sure.
about that. I think that we start to build a wall, and not only do we are we trying not to cry, but now we're not feeling things quite as deeply. And I think it's nice to let that kind of bubble out a little bit. Like what
Sure.
Yeah,
what an
that's
amazing
true.
release. And there's so much in the world that isn't
Yeah,
positive and nice, and that people want to be kind to you. Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I think that it the tears and all those emotions help us to bring that kindness to other places.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know how to process things otherwise.
Mm.
And how do you process this thing that in no other environment or experience in your life you expect? This doesn't happen.
Yeah.
This never happened in the 30 years I lived
Yeah.
before all of this.
Yeah.
So I couldn't agree more with Kim.
And I think that's a good point, but I also think I always hope that the tears come from a place of like joy and not like I don't deserve this tears.
Right.
Like I hope that changes at some point for everybody.
I think that was one of the shifts that made it easier to cope
Because why
with.
not?
But the Crayon Fund helped me do that, which also you were very good very early on at being like, if you're going to do this, people are going to support you. You're going to go completely to pieces. You need something. You need a cause because this is just my little ecosystem. Functions on what are we going to do? What like I'm here and I'm excited. I'm going to make stuff, but what are we going to make together is much more my jam. That made it a lot easier to be like, oh my gosh, positive energy. And I still think of the Crayon Fund that way. I can't wait to take all our positive energy and harness and focus it and use it in a deserving way. I would not be able to function, I don't think, if I didn't have that purpose. If I didn't have my why, I would really struggle, I think. I would really struggle. Hey, Sanka.
I think having the opportunity, and I think that's what you're doing with your tip jar, right? Is having the opportunity to pay it forward to other creators.
For sure.
So music is an expensive industry.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know that you think I set baby goals, but it was for the first time that I didn't need to desperately raise money to afford projects, that I could funnel that generosity and positivity and be able to hire some musicians and technicians and all of these people who do videos, and like for the first time I could go out and do that, and it wasn't always everything on my shoulders having to do everything myself. So being able to hire people and have it so that like our friend can leave the studio open and be doing that way more like
it can be sustainable.
Huge.
It can be sustainable.
You also do stuff like Streamfest though, which to me is a direct and it translates in time and resource the same way like donating a dollar amount is one thing, donating minutes is exactly the same. And the way that something like Streamfest could come out of that, like, oh my gosh, I have an audience. Who can I give a spotlight to? Or the fact that you'll use the funding and say like, okay, we're going to be able to offer queer and trans inclusive yoga specifically because you have afforded me the ability to give my time. You have made that so that I don't have to struggle in order to do that. Giving your time is exactly the same instinct.
Oh my god, I'm emotional just talking
about
right?
it. Oh my god.
Just like,
I cry
Good. I hope everybody cries. Good.
Just like the
That
amount
makes me
of
happy.
things that we've been able to do that had been dreams and the projects and the support we're able to give other people.
Yeah,
like,
right, Franco?
Yeah. So I had to switch. I used to do this weekly Patreon wrap up of just like, here's the videos we were able to post this week. And I was like, that's not what that does for me anymore. Like it's so much more than
I like this format. I like your format.
Because I'm just like everything that's like we can do in a month in like a 4-week period because of having a regular income is like completely different than what I was able to do 4 years ago. None of this happened. None of this existed. I was not able to go and do all of those things and the community work and everything else that we do. So it's wild what happens when you have a community of people who support you.
Yeah. One of the anyway, one of the like I think just at the beginning. Why, Kim?
Do you want to just play the clip of you laughing maniacally for like 10 minutes instead?
Yeah. Also authentic and true. You are fast and
no, but it is good because I think if you probably ever had self-doubt, now you're on the journey to not, and I think that's exciting.
Yeah, I think like one of the
Bronco. Why do streamers cry? What is Patreon?
And also Carrot. Why does Skillshare's come
Your last Patreon meditation low-key touched on this, so it might like be boiling under the surface for you
probably,
right now.
Yeah,
you know?
there's a lot of
because you just like
well, and I think, but that's interesting is that like you're still coming new to this. You're just having your baby, and it's like, oh, cool, shit, this is actually happening.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like Brenda had said, it's going to be a lot when people are nice to you. And it's, I'm trying to think of the exact words. It can be a challenge to go from a place where there's struggle to a place of support. I'm drooling.
Yeah. I remember that conversation very clearly.
And I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay. Let's just see what happens today. Yeah. And now I'm like putting lights in the jar so that they can make up for the number of fucking subs and stuff.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
Buddy,
That's really funny.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. And nice. It's like, it's cool.
So Sean, why do we all cry? It's like you want to talk about like our entire let's start from the beginning, shall we?
Can we offer you
No,
a
but I think that's
demonstration?
yeah, but I think that's
We will now cry in tandem within seconds.
Wait, hang on. I haven't been
perfect.
Can we not talk about our life stories of struggle?
No, but I think
Now
that's
I'm gonna
super
cry
important.
too.
That is really important.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm trying. I hope that through some of these conversations and through that conversation, we can normalize that it's okay to feel support and good and like be excited about it. And Jenny wants to know what would make me cry. No, sorry. Razor asked what would make me cry. Did you read a response? Rude.
That Jenny would pay extra if
Rude.
you cry?
She said a kick in the dick.
Oh, I missed that.
So
Oh,
rude. So rude.
That's so funny because I was like, whoa, I bet a kick in the dick would make Sean cry. Is what I thought. I didn't even, wow, Jenny.
And that's how you choose your mods. Find someone who can
Yeah.
read your mind.
Yeah, there you go.
And say the thing that you probably shouldn't say, but you
Strangely,
do
yes.
sometimes.
Strangely, yes.
Get your bad cop. Get your anger translator. Make them your mod. It's great. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
You know why I wouldn't cry at support? Because I think it's important, or well, especially for this channel anyway, it's that we're supporting other artists that are going to do more things, and that just gets me excited. I might cry with tears of joy, and be like super excited that we get to put out more or whatever. That's always exciting to me.
But have you two ever had any like self-doubt generally in your art? Not necessarily in the presenting of it, but have you ever thought like, oh god, oh no,
Every day still. Oh, absolutely. But I think why Brenda and I always got along so well as well is because it's like, I could go and do this thing and then people come and say, oh, you're great at this. And I'm like, you can see that there are people who like, you come to this space and you come here and you be in awe of me. And I never, I love doing a million different things. I don't specialize in anything.
Right.
And I've never been the most talented person in a room.
Wait, what do you mean you don't specialize in one thing?
What?
What do you mean you don't specialize in one thing? How many years have you played
mediocre
music?
at many things. Yeah. But no, I can go into any group, and there
You know
will
what
be
she's
a more
really great
talented
at, being
musician.
You know what she's really great at?
Right.
Yeah.
Being a dummy.
I'm going to fight you. Okay, tune in for the
Just
after
kind of
show.
mediocre. I only played music for 30 years.
I'm like a multi-instrumentalist and my voice
played
is
900
like
things.
sweet,
That's
wonderful
really funny.
molasses.
Also,
but
hi.
I'm not very good at stuff.
Hi, Weston. Bye, Des. Bye, Weston.
Hi.
But that is also that can be a useful thing to, like, we've talked about. One of the things that I struggled with when I looked at the art section was the way that it was like this really refined, very skilled artist that objectively, like with my sense of self totally intact, I could be like, this person is very skilled at oil painting or whatever it is, and I don't necessarily have that skill. And to know that that's not necessary, like it's not a skills what do they call it in hockey when you go do like a skills demonstration and they're just doing like trick shots and stuff?
A skills competition.
That's not skills competition.
We call it some kind of sport.
It's something more. Sports. But there is, we've talked about this
Muting all of
before. The like Olympic level gamer who's like, I'm so good at this game that you are the stadium, I am the athlete, sit and watch me.
Yeah.
And that's a different thing.
Of course.
It's not what I'm doing. I don't think
the
it's what
same
any
thing
of
with
us are doing.
streamers. You can walk in and you be like,
Sure.
oh, this person is absolutely incredible.
Yes.
They know all the buttons. They have been training on their instrument for 15 years. Like, they're experts at music theory. Like, I am not that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, my favorite part about music was never being on stage. I never.
No, yeah.
I don't look at me. But I liked like house concerts. Like, I go and I'm with their family. And I
Yeah.
get to know their whole story. And
Yeah.
like, people are talking. Everybody. So it's always been the community piece for me. That's always been the most exciting part of this. So don't come and be in awe of me. There's nothing to be in awe of. We can come, we can have a super fun music time. Everybody can jam. We can make art. Like, that was always the goal, is spending time with people and building a community around it. So
Okay. Well, here's a thought for you.
Puts a distance.
Yeah, of course.
Here's a thought for you. Okay, so you're not very good at many things, but here's maybe one thing you're good at. All of you, I think. And probably one of the reasons that I think you're as successful as you three are and are becoming is that you're really good at being consistent. And you are online and you are creating a space and a nice safe space for people to be. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. I know Danny's going to be live this day, that day, this day, these times, this time. Brenda's doing the same. You know, you're starting to do that and adding more days and times as you go. And that I think is honestly a strength and something that we don't talk about a lot. Is that like, that is probably your biggest strength, is like, you just are constant. You're a constant for everybody in chat. And you're like, oh, cool. I know when I can come and be, you know, have this nice safe space for me, or get a rant, or be yelled at, or thrown on the ground as a dinosaur. You know, but that's like to me, that's your number one skill, I think.
That's also a privilege, though. It's funny, I don't know, some folks were in the Discord hangout this morning when we were just hanging out and sketchbooking, and we were talking about a consistent schedule is in some ways a privilege, because I can give all of my attention and time to what times work for me. I can spend the rest of my time getting ready, doing lots of stuff to get ready, and I don't have a ton of things, typically, that will drive a truck through my schedule.
Yeah.
And if I do, it's intermittent enough and rare enough that usually I can plan for it. I have time to communicate about it. I can put out a schedule, say like, hey friends, this is the plan for this week. And I have made this plan. I have thought about this plan. And my part of that deal is to do everything I can to follow through on that commitment.
Yeah.
But I have a ton of resources at my disposal to help me follow through at that commitment.
For sure.
And every time you take
but you've also shaped your life to make that happen.
I have, yes.
Yeah.
You know, like, yes, I know that.
Yeah.
And I know there is a privilege there for sure, but there also is an element of like, you know, you've also shaped your life to make that happen. And I think that's really important. And I think that is a difference sometimes between, you know, really great streams and really okay streams.
Yeah.
You know?
No, consistency is super, super important. Absolutely.
I knew.
Yeah.
Consistency help. Consistency is one of your freebies.
Yeah.
Consistency is one of your freebies. You don't get very many freebies. A consistent schedule, or just a schedule people know about in advance enough, is one of the only freebies that you get as a streamer. There's very little else that you can be like, well, you can for sure try to do that and it will help.
Yeah.
You know?
How do you get yourself ready for a stream generally? Like, talking about, like, it's, you know, there's a bit of a luxury, but like, what are some of the tools and tricks and things that you do? Like, what do you do to get yourself ready?
Oh no, I'm leading forward to listen to you pros.
I thought you were gonna say you had this like whole meditation ritual or something.
Yeah, I do. I want to hear you first, though.
How many shots do you take?
Well, on Tuesdays when I stream at 8:30 in the morning, at least 7 shots.
There's still left over from the night before.
That's right,
Yeah. But there is a process, and I think you can get yourself into that. And I know you have a process because I've seen it. I know you have a process because I've been there when you're about to push the button.
We've been there for each other's process, which is kind of funny too. To be like, what's your risk? Okay, let's get. All right, awesome.
Yeah, I think when I first started, I was so scared all the time that it was like an hour and a half before streams that I would be like all over everything and really nervous about everything working. It ended up like if we're doing collabs and it's about an hour and a half, then I'm just trying, because we're moving furniture and stuff. Literally, like when we collab,
we're trying to get our real crazy energy out so that we can do it on purpose.
Yeah. and just making
Yeah.
sure things work. So I used to have so many technical issues that it's like I would have to start that early, but like once the groove is working, then it's about an hour, I'd say, before stream of just like calmly doing it. Because if you do that frazzled, then it does not help you starting with complete and utter chaos right away when you have a very clear plan of all the things you want to get done that you never get to get done.
Yeah.
Wait, you have a
I
plan?
don't know what you're talking
You have a plan when you
I don't
start
know what
streaming?
that's like.
Why?
I don't know what that's like.
Why would you?
There are things
Also,
to
why
do.
would you?
There's so much to
But
do.
why? It doesn't matter.
There's
Yeah, it
so
doesn't matter.
many
to make
things
art.
all the time. So many things.
So what's your process now? Like, so what do you do now? Like, what's your daily? Like, so you said it's an hour. What do you do? Do you eat? Do you sleep? Are you sleeping properly? Are you eating healthily to get yourself there?
I should be eating more healthily. That's my
Are you
goal this
leaving
year.
nice stream breaks? Like, all those things.
Well, I think that like you obviously have to like put out some food on the floor to honor the goddess Flores. Step number 1.
Okay.
I have to turn on approximately 74 pieces of equipment, so it is like a very specific. Like nobody can get in the way of that because it's a very specific order that everything needs to be turned on.
Yeah.
And even like when you turn on the PC, like MIDI controllers need to be plugged in after. Like all these things to make sure that everything is actually connected and works properly is an entire ordeal. So that normally takes a lot of time, but making sure I have like 3 cups filled with liquids is important for how long we stream.
Yep.
Pressing all the
cup
buttons.
an hour.
Yeah, cup an hour. Pressing all the buttons to make sure that everything is on and functioning. And having like a good like 10 minutes, I normally try to like check in with the mods and check in with everybody who's camping in the chat and say hi.
Where do you check in? Sorry, on stream or in Discord?
On Discord with the mods. And I mean, I put together like this is what's happening this stream list. So I've already done that for tomorrow for them because there's a lot happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is just like an hour before.
It sounds like not actually.
Yeah, probably won't be much. But,
I have many plans.
But yeah, welcome back.
I'm
just gonna do an impression of Danny
list
all
of
day
things to do
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Okay, here.
Okay,
This is
are
an
you
impression.
ready? This
Yeah.
is. I'm just gonna put a bunch of dinos.
Oh,
in
here,
this
wait.
dish.
We'll come here.
Here, do you need some?
Yeah,
There
can
we
you
go.
give me some dinos so I can do this? Give me that.
Sports.
Sports, go sports. Stigo.
Pterodactyl.
This is
God, they're just
terrifying.
going at
There's
me.
so much equipment here.
Okay.
None of these people are good at throwing or catching. This is terrible.
This is me playing.
I hate
Danny.
everything that's happening.
We're all so crazy. Here's look, shake, echo, shake,
Oh, wait, you need a link
echo,
for that.
echo.
Sean, do you have the reverb?
No, there's no reverb here.
Oh wow, I get so
You're
many.
like-
I will provide the
You have
reverb.
demon voice.
Wait. Oh, just 3? Oh no! All of a sudden, 1,000 more people are here. Oh, I've already lost one. This is me, Danny. Oh my!
I'm getting fully sassed right now.
Shakeity shake.
I didn't sign up for a roast today.
And then you're gonna
Yes,
do
you
this. You're gonna be like, let me
You
just
knew you were getting something.
take my dinos
Yeah.
over to my cute
Oh,
little.
okay. Yeah.
Hang on, I'm just gonna put them here. Oh no, my dinos are on the floor. Oh no. Oh well, Patches, be good, Patches.
She's a perfect princess. How dare you roast Patches?
There you go.
Anyway, that's my impression of Danny.
That's what's gonna happen tomorrow.
That's
That's what's gonna happen
Tomorrow's stream.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then she's gonna be like, here's
You
my
killed
agenda.
Brenda.
Yeah, here's my agenda. Yeah. Brenda's not even in the screen anymore.
Yeah, do you want me to do Brenda next?
Let's do Brenda next.
Yeah.
Yay.
This is Brenda's next
We
stream.
need the
Monday.
penis tape.
This is
Somebody
Monday.
get the
Monday
tape.
stream.
How very dare you! What are you doing? Sit down. Don't lick the drain.
She said don't lick the drain.
Don't lick the drain.
The drain?
Ah, my chicken.
Oh,
Give me my chicken. No, everybody sit down.
If it makes you feel better, Sean, I also heard drain.
that's what I was like. The drain?
Oh, I do need 3 more stuff. It's a good point, Donna.
There you go.
Kim, can you do my streams next week?
Yeah.
I would love that.
Today, the role of Brenda.
We won't tell anybody.
Yeah. Won't matter. Won't be any different.
Do Kim next.
Do Kim next.
Kim's the only
Okay,
one
this
of
is
us.
me.
Where's my fucking pencil? I don't know where the pencils are. Here, kiss me. Kiss. Whether you want it or not, take a kiss. Look, I'm cute. Here's a jar.
There goes that.
You suck.
That's good.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. You still suck over there in the red Kim. Yeah, there you go. That's a Kim stream.
Escalated.
Oh,
Yeah, right?
wow, that's
Yeah.
great. Have you not been?
Come back next Tuesday.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
I loved it amongst all that. Donna's like, Danny, I love your hair.
So sweet.
Oh, shit.
I just need
Oh, yeah.
impressions for everyone.
You boner. God damn it, can't shut up,
my
chat.
God.
Nobody asked you.
Best thing is when you're like,
I have a what do you got?
chat, I have a question.
Yeah,
Wait,
what do you
I don't care what your answer is.
Yeah, what do you think? Not that I'm gonna care.
I don't care.
Yeah. You boners.
I just have a microphone.
I love that you've got to be one of the only female streamers on Twitch that's like, he's just actively throwing around boners. He's just like, you boner, you boner, you boner. Everybody else like, don't say bad words. Don't, everybody quiet. PG, instead you're like, boners.
Also, if you can get boner mail, you absolutely should.
Oh my God.
It's a redeem on Kim's channel, and
Yeah.
it's so
It's offensive, really.
fantastic. It's fantastic.
Jenny has more boners than anyone else. More of
Imagine.
my boners
Imagine.
than anyone else.
That's true. That's
Jenny's
true.
very lucky.
That's true.
That's how Kim prepares
Danny's
for
fine.
stream. Kim,
That
Kim
is the
just,
ritual.
Like,
That's
that's
it.
the ritual. Kim just walks in, throws down.
That was a secret.
It's like,
God damn it.
ready. Just ready. Understandable.
All right, Brenda, how do you prepare for streams?
Oh, I forgot.
Never mind
There
this.
was
How do you
I
prepare
started
for
to
streams?
Google that.
Because I think it's really important.
Don't you Google that?
I do.
It's really
Yeah,
important.
actually, I do prepare. Similar an hour before is when I start setting up the tech and plugging everything into everything, turning everything on, and I actually do like a recording to check that it works because I do not believe that it will work every time. Every time I'm like, there'll be something. There'll be something that doesn't work, and I record it to be like, can I hear the sound? And Sean has to listen to me relentlessly. Check, test, check,
Hey,
check.
well, no,
test,
the
test,
first, you know,
and
one of the first times
hit
when
the alerts.
when
I
Cause
set
puts
off
you
the
for
sounds.
like, take me home, and I'm like,
Learning
you
the
are home. What are you
microphone.
talking about?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, you're
voice.
getting ready for stream.
The thing that I don't
me home.
do, and
Oh, you
my
nerd.
mods were probably openly weeping when you were talking about what you, because I'm trying to get better at this, but sometimes I just, every once in a while have a pop-up and I'll just be like, surprise. And the mods were kind enough to do a Mod Squad feedback form for me that I sent out that was like, what do I do that makes your job easier? What do I do that makes your job harder? Is there anything that you wish I asked you that I didn't? And the one thing that they considered, they were all incredibly kind and lovely because you're incredible and I adore you all. And they were like, please tell us when you're gonna do it.
Yeah. Surprise!
Please tell us so we can. You can just like hear them being like, we just need to know. We can't, because they would come in and be like, hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
45 people in here. There's 9 doodles already.
Sammy mods. Or I do things like I would make the doodle coupon redeem and be like, about that. And a lot of times they come in and I'd be like, I'm already like doing this. And be like, I did something. The repercussions were already, but I do an hour beforehand. I set up, check the tech, and I also do a ton of like eat, sleep, workout, cardio,
take
actual
days
cardio,
off, and probably take
very
days
good.
off. You're good at taking
internet
days
days are
Yeah.
internet days where I'm not streaming, and I try to be absent from other spaces at intervals that.
So you can properly like be prepared. I think
I have
which
to
is
fill
really
that
important.
tank for sure.
Yeah,
that tank is not perpetually full. I have to deliberately fill that tank. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cause you're live. You've been live for an hour, and we're only I spoke 90 minutes ago, and you said nothing. I'd like to formally apologize to Cause, long and in multiple ways. Cause suffers.
Also, this is random fact, but from Rain's random fact is very good. One of my first passwords for something was tromboner.
That's really great.
Trombone player. Didn't know what a trombone player was called.
I love it.
Where's my
Nice.
homework? I need
Love
to.
it.
I
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
remember
Right, the
tromboner.
Yeah, Neo's talking about the Discord hangout actively.
Yeah.
They had to actively troubleshoot with me, and that would happen every single time on stream, and it would stress me out, and it would prevent me from being fully present. And I really care about being fully, completely.
Well, and you're really good at like
present.
if something's not working.
Yeah.
You will just scrap it.
I have
or
to
like
scrap it.
if like are you
I
good
have to
at
ditch it. I don't like
are
to
you
change
good at
stuff.
like if a mic doesn't work or a camera's not working or something, can you just be like, okay, forget
Do
it?
you have that option?
Do you have that ever?
Well, I mean, I don't have that many tech issues anymore.
Yeah.
But
Knock on everything.
I took an enormous amount of pride, Kim.
I've been here for 1,000 years.
Why did Sean say you're the senior?
I was literally called a senior today. I'm allowed.
Senior streamer.
I'm allowed. But I mean, one day Ableton was just like, no. Like, I was mid-loop and there was no sound coming out at all. And so I'm just, you experience certain technical issues that you're like, okay, this has happened before. Like, quick restart. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do that. It still gets to a point where, like, everything stops working and Twitch is exploding and you have to restart your entire PC midstream. Like, all that's normal. But you get better at problem solving as time goes on. But in the beginning, like, just nonstop tech issues. And I only had one cam. So that wasn't working. Like now, sometimes I'll have issues with room cam and things that people don't always see. And I'm just like, I just don't switch to that camera this stream.
Right, but you're good at saying, okay, forget that. I just won't use it.
Oh yeah, and even when we were talking about like people coming in the chat earlier with technical issues and knowing where the boundaries are and where the lines are, like people will still come in and like complete nonsense, like chanting at me like weird MIDI controllers, like why is your MIDI controller plugged into your audio interface? I'm like, it's not. What are you talking? And sometimes it's just people who, like you were saying, they want to be the person who knows better than you coming in. So boundaries around that are important, and knowing like if there's a random person coming in being like, I can't hear you, then I immediately check it with the mods. Is everything okay? You can hear me? We're good?
Can I go to one person or like what?
There's people you trust. There's people you
can
trust
one person hear me? Yeah, okay, great.
You're going to tell me the truth. I know that your audio setup's decent. I know you wouldn't point it out unless it was actually an issue.
So sometimes people just come in to throw you off, and so I do just check in really quick. Is it okay? And if it's ever a big issue, like they'll tag me. Or if I forgot to change the camera and I'm super into making art, then Derma will cheer bits and literally be like, change the scene. So you've got your people who you trust to help you with that. And if something explodes and it's not necessary for them to see or hear you, then you can move on from it and try again next stream for sure.
And not let it shake you. Not let it like wreck your energy. Which it used to really stress me out when something would go wrong and I felt like it would affect my ability to
and you know that you're going to do a stream. Like, I think if you can remind yourself that you're going to do a stream probably in 2 days. You're like, okay, well, it's not going to work this time, but I'll do it next time.
I think what's incredible about this community and the things that we're doing is that those errors are celebrated. So that was something that looping and learning how to do that live way less scary is that every time I hit a wrong button, it's like, let's cheer bits because you can't do this at all. Like, in what part of your life is that ever a thing? Like, you are terrible at this.
Hooray!
Here's $5. Like, what?
It's okay. It's okay.
But $5 to take a lesson. Stop being so bad at this.
And you're trying, you know? You're trying and you keep coming back. So
or people
that's important.
staying
I think that's
while,
what's
like
important.
through entire restarts and stuff. I used to be so worried that I was just completely failing at this thing I was trying to do, and people would just fill the chat with emotes and be just having their entire own time. And then I'd be like, I don't know if anybody noticed I restarted. I'm back. And they'd be like, yeah, that's great. Do whatever it is you think you're doing. That's fine.
The power of that presence and the importance of just that time that they spend is huge. So when everyone's like, restart the stream because it's back, like that's huge. I went through 6 months where it was literally the internet pole outside of my house that needed to be fixed, and they wouldn't fix it. And I did everything in my power to try to fix new Ethernet. Like I was dropping stream like 4 or 5 times a stream. And people through that would be like, refresh, yay, she's back.
Or you get redeems again that are supposed to only be once.
And
they're like, I'm back! Again! Another one! I think that approach, or the one that Kim takes where if something goes wrong, you're like, neat! Neat! Look at that! Wow.
Let's put this in the homework book.
That's equally effective. To be like, this is
What do you prepare?
So
kick Joel out.
Yeah, so one, I make sure to test the redeem that says Joel is so handsome so that he gets out of the house.
Right.
Because he hates it.
He knows that. He's like, oh God, I don't want to hear this. She just smokes him out.
Yeah, if he's taking his time to leave the house, I just play that one over and over again.
Poor Joel.
Oh God, yeah, poor Joel. Well, on Monday, so I stream, I kind of like, because I don't have a specific room to stream in right now, it's right in the middle of the house. I have to like really, I'm streaming basically when I can, right? So on Mondays, I love Mondays. I teach a yoga class in the morning.
Right.
So what's nice is that I wake up and I do a yoga practice, and then I put together a class, and then I hold space for people in a practice, which is totally different. It's kind of like you're holding space when streaming, but in when I'm teaching yoga, it's about like what can I try to evoke for you? How can I empower you? So for Mondays, I like that because it's an opportunity to be very calm, but still me, and hold space for people to grow and to connect with their bodies. And so then by the time I get home, I've already kind of rearranged some of the furniture. So when I get home, it's just like checking on a few things, eating, because I'm a ravenous rhino. Yeah, and then usually Drongo gives me a couple of jump scares in the chat, which I find is really a couple of ducks. Yeah, I get
or a couple quacks.
I get some quacks in the morning. Yeah. I usually drink like maybe a warm tea or some water. Yeah, and just like kind of sit. Holding space is a lot, right? And I think that streaming is holding space. So being able to hold two very different rooms in a day, I think really helps me to find a little bit of balance. So I practice yoga every day, so I think that helps me to be pretty honest with who I am when I'm on camera. I'm pretty comfortable with who I am, so that's nice.
That took a long time probably to get to that point. Being comfortable with yourself, right?
Yeah.
Not on stream.
Yes, definitely.
I feel like you had
No, but I mean like like worked really hard at that
pre-internet
in life in IRL.
Yeah, definitely.
So that it could come into stream. Yeah, no,
absolutely. And I really think that it wasn't until probably 2019 where I really started to explore me as not my job, but who I am. And once I started to do that, I could really explore. Like, I think that if it wasn't for yoga, I'm not sure if you would have convinced me to come to streaming.
I know, right?
Yeah. I think that if I hadn't been holding space like that, holding space online would feel like impossible.
And letting go. Remember you talked about it was not that long ago that you were like, I am letting go of previous job Kim and everything that entailed, which was like a whole additional like I am letting go of that identity marker.
And that was a huge thing too. Like
it's a huge thing.
Quit your job. Quit your day job.
Are you getting in on the boner innuendo?
Wow.
What is imagine.
Letting go of job version.
I know.
And let's turn that in.
And yet it's possible.
I'm so, and when Kim talks about like getting dragged by this guy, I'm gonna drag you. I'm gonna drag you not teaching all the time, Danny.
You heard it here.
I'm gonna drag you not being stressed all the time. Ooh.
I'm gonna help.
I'm
gonna yoga your brain.
Oh, Kim's gonna yoga your brain.
That's 2 threats. You win.
Yoga your brain.
I've been threatening it for years.
I also need to yoga my entire body, please.
You yoga her brain and I'll kick her butt.
Sweet.
Okay.
I love it.
At the after party.
Yeah.
It'll be so
in the parking lot.
Drunk was right. I do forget to lock the table wheels.
That's true. Yeah.
Sometimes
the stream just rolls away. Sometimes the stream just rolls away.
Going down the hill.
Where's it going? Oh no, come back.
One time I almost fell over.
That's true. Sometimes shit happens.
Twice.
That's an important part of the ritual.
Yeah, definitely.
I've never had anything fall over. I don't know what that's like.
No, I'm sure. Yeah.
You've never.
Can't imagine that. It's terribly unprofessional.
I have not spent an enormous amount of time on your floor at all.
No. Streaming, you sit vertical. Imagine being on the floor. Imagine being out of frame. Rude.
Imagine your knees working while you're trying to stream them.
Rude. Absurd expectations.
So funny.
You mentioned earlier having Nunnernet days to refill. Ooh, what do you do on those days instead?
Great question, Neo.
Yeah,
Great question, Neo.
Yeah.
2 points for Neo.
Your Nunnernet
We don't do
days
that here.
are
I don't
very
give any
Nunnernet.
points.
Oh. Come on over to
Kim
my
can
channel,
give
Neo.
points.
Not on this.
Kim give points if she
Not on this
literally
channel.
points.
I spat all over.
Not on this channel.
That's what you get for not letting Kim give points.
I literally get
Not on
points
this
in every
channel.
room I walk into.
I'll take Kim away. Kim's gone now.
God.
Oh, jeez.
Kim's
Kim
gone
is
now.
like the best one at Nunnernet days. Kim's like fully Nunnernet.
Well, she's practicing right now.
Yoga?
She's not here.
I do yoga. Sometimes I do Kim's meditations, which I get on Kim's Patreon. I look, but actually I do because I get beautiful, like very nicely, accessibly packaged yoga, like tidbits, but phrased in a very accessible way, I think, which I find really helpful. Non-internet days, I go outside. I make sure to have human relationships and connect with people and places and stuff that's not online.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm watching your little wheel going. You're like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? You're like, Sean's gonna ask me. What am I gonna say?
I don't have an answer to that question.
No, you don't. That's why I was looking at you.
Kim is talking about is that we go through this period where struggle feels like your baseline, and so anything less than struggle seems like a crisis because you imagine it to be like right before some sort of catastrophe.
Yes.
Our whole bodies are like, oh my gosh, I'm not hustling.
I've been living that.
I'm about to go bankrupt. Then.
Yes.
I'm immediately going to get evicted. And you need like time to physically work that through, potentially through yoga. It's one of the options. Yeah, it takes time. And being really stressed and busy is also an identity marker, and it takes a long time to let go of that. I still, if I hear the alert that my old BlackBerry at my old job had, I still, a part of my body is like, oh no, and it like that is a deep trigger that takes a long time.
Yeah,
Rain had an answer for you.
Reaction. More work.
Yeah, more work. Watch this. Everyone's like, how's your break going? I'm like, well, I feel like I'm not going to have a meltdown in January, so it feels like a good break to me because I worked ahead.
Well, your work now is that you're learning that. I think.
You what?
I think your work now is that you're starting to learn to not work so much.
I'm trying.
You're trying. You say you are.
I know. But I've been trying
Maybe
to
we're
kind
getting
of,
there.
like, in the last couple of years, build something that I feel like I can actually finally take that break.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're getting there.
That's so scary.
Yeah.
Like, and again, like your identity, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And
who am
for
I if I'm
me,
not
like,
super busy?
Well, and
Panic,
that's a huge
frenzy.
thing for me because people ask, like, always, like, how did you start music? How did you start doing all these things? And, like, I started writing by, like, a doctor's prescription when I was 7 because I was already just, like, compulsively busy at 7 years old.
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat my lunch at school and I would just, like, do work the whole time. So they'd be giving me, like, extra projects in elementary school in grade 2 because they couldn't keep me busy enough. And I would get super stressed when I wasn't busy. So how do you unlearn an entire lifetime of that?
Yoga.
Calm
With
that mind.
Kim.
Calm that mind.
And keeping talking about it. Because, like, I definitely... I mean, that's... I don't know. It's so funny. I think about how many times we go to, like, family functions and people are like... Are you really... Like, that's the number one question, right? Like, are you busy? And I always answer now with, no, not
Which
very.
means successful. The
No.
subtext is,
Are
you successful?
Are you making lots of money?
Oh, you make money
Are you
doing
working
that?
a lot? And I'm like,
do that for-
not really.
So what do you do for work?
I'm good.
What is it you do
Like,
for
I'm good.
work?
I try to answer with I'm not good, and now they don't. It's funny. I noticed the last couple times they don't really ask that.
Not busy.
And they're just, and I'm like, no, I'm not that busy because I think that means that you're important. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm fine. I'm good.
I've started to not ask people, like, how's work?
Yeah.
You're not work and you're not your job. That is just something that you happen to do to support some of the things you love.
Yeah, for sure.
And I definitely, like, I defined myself as like, when I was a server and bartender, that this is who I am. I'm good at it. Like, I was really good at it. No big deal.
I'm here. You're welcome. True, though.
Yeah.
Accurate.
We just did our Kim impersonation together.
I'm a little teapot.
Spot on. But I wanted to be busy. So I would work all the time. I would take all these extra shifts. There was a time when I was walking with a cane because my body was just like, I cannot do more. I'm going to work and that's all I can do. I was in bed at 3 because I couldn't be upright anymore. Like, it was...
Did you was it part of you liked having the cane though? Because you were like, look at my fancy cane.
I mean, okay, so
that's like I'm really
I did
important.
kind of
personality
glitter
trait
and
of it.
resin,
Yeah,
so-
you did.
Did you also have a hat with a feather and a boa around yourself?
No, but I had a couple of rollers in my hair just for practice.
But I think we get to that point where you're like, oh, this is I have this cane because I work hard and I'm important, like, or something, you know, and it's like you start having
as a
this.
sass weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, drinks are on Kim for the post-stream party.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good. Perfect.
Great.
Okay, sweet. And it took a long time, like, of not serving. I wasn't serving. I stopped in 2019. I would say it took until last winter before I finally was like, holy shit, I've been holding on to this for so long.
And physically,
I had like
body.
Physically had shoulder issues.
Which is crazy.
And I a friend of mine who's a yoga therapist, we had a couple of like times together, and he said, what is it that you're holding on to that you can't let go of? And I was like, I hate everything about you right now.
Right?
Yeah, but it was like
real.
He asked that question, and my brain couldn't stop. I had journaled for about an hour. As soon as I got in, I felt like there was a weight physically lifted off of my shoulder. I took a shower right after, and my posture completely changed. I didn't even know that I was hanging on to this until somebody was like, what? Maybe this thing? And then once that happened, all of a sudden, yoga was deeper. Like, to teach it, like, all of a sudden was like, oh, this is actually the thing for me. Yeah. And then you telling me about Patreon, I was like, oh, okay, good point. Patreon, fine. And then streaming, I don't think I would have explored any of these things outside of the traditional means of employment, like you know, like working at a studio. You know, it's good. I enjoy it. Also, I think that you can have more impact with people through Patreon and one-on-one. Yes. And streaming is really fun, and I think because it's hard to imagine me as a yoga teacher, I think it's also really fun to like show that humans are more than one thing.
You be lots of things.
Like these are both very authentic parts of who I am. Yeah, so I think not being busy is incredible. I think not spending time on the internet is so nice. And I actually find it really easy.
The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah,
and you do have to practice, you know, and I think that's what Carrot said here somewhere about society, like, fetishizing, like, work being a struggle, and it's like, yeah, 100%. You have to really work at it, where it's like, it's not really work. Like, work is fine.
That does.
And I think we also think about, like, you know, if you're a musician, to be a successful musician, you must travel and make all these records. But that's only one thing. To be an artist, you must have big gallery shows, be in national, to be, you know, yoga, be in a studio, have 1,000 people doing yoga with you. And it's like, who made that rule? Nobody said that. You can do whatever you want. You can stream 3 days in your basement and be totally happy, probably.
And that's, I think,
you know, and that's fine.
What I'm still fighting with as well is this concept of like, you can do this thing on your own terms, just with your community.
Yes,
and
exactly.
you can enjoy it and be happy and successful.
Totally.
And that is something too that if I go out in my community, people don't understand. People don't think what I'm doing, like, and you're again, who decided any of this?
We made all this shit up. We made it all up, you know.
There is kind of a there's something of a, we've talked before about the ego death of, like, if I went to a gallery, like if I tried to pursue the traditional route for an artist right now, if I tried to write like any of the big grants that I was getting or that I was doing before, it would be really difficult, and it would take a lot of education. I would probably not be able to just walk up to a gallery and be like, represent me, carry my fancy paintings, I'm very fancy.
I made this drawing of a chicken.
And that, right?
It's business.
Exactly. And that, like, part of what I have to let go of is that idea of, like, you don't have the thing I want.
That's fine.
Fancy gallery. You don't have the thing I want. You have something that I have been given really strong messages that I'm supposed to want, But those are two different things.
And it's funny too, because that's also kind of the path, at least for me, to poverty, and that's what I was following for so long. So you're talking about like working this thing to do the thing you love.
Starving artist.
I could never incorporate because I lost half of my individual income. So every accountant ever was like, "Yeah, you should never actually have a business because you're spending all of your own money just to pay." I was like $30,000 in debt from music every single year before this. So I think the other reason why I have this tendency to overwork is there's also this feeling of feeling like you're saying, why do you feel like you don't deserve it? And it's like, okay, well, it's happening, but why do I deserve this? I have to deserve this, so let me just do everything all of the time. And I need to work through taking the days off and taking the time. And I think what's so extraordinary about this community as well is that you will have some of these people who are like, here is a monthly income.
Right,
you should take a break. And I'm like, in my brain, that doesn't, it's not normally like, here is income, you should go play Nintendo. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, doesn't make
because we want you to be healthy and we want you to come back and make really cool stuff.
We do better.
And you won't if you're just stressed in a puddle. That's why.
I'm gonna work on it. Thanks, everybody.
Well, we're all working on, and we're all, and we're all working on it together, right? Like, there is no like one quick answer either. Like, it's like you have to keep working on it. And you have to sleep right, and you have to eat right, and you have to get the right amount of air and sunshine. And
there is also we touched briefly recently about the danger of if you let go of like, I am a server, I am a bartender. If you let go of I don't need to tour as a musician, if you let go of I am a gallery showing artist in these fancy galleries, if you let that go and you do the thing that is so natural and so wonderful of streaming, it is an amazing, beautiful thing to have an online community, but also all of the platforms that we use give us the same really strong messages about like what specific things we're supposed to chase, and no one talks to content creators about what do you do if your numbers are down? What do you do if your stream doesn't feel as engaging as it did? What do you do if you're not getting the success that you want? And now you're plugged into like, oh my gosh, this is like my passion. This is like, there's something safer in a way to the distance of like, this is my job. I would never turn my passion into my work because it's a because like I've heard that, I have said that, and there's a safety in that, right? Oh, I would never turn, because it's a lot safer to fail at something that doesn't really belong to you. What we're doing now really belongs to us, and there is very little on any social media platform really that is offering you help and support when invariably your numbers just are a roller coaster, because of course they are. None of these platforms
it's always
care.
get buffed,
Twitch doesn't care. Instagram doesn't care. They don't work for us, and really we don't work for them. It's very precarious, which is why I think when people like you come onto the platform, Kim, that are like, I know who I am and I brought that with me.
So nice,
And it's funny.
So nice.
It is funny to be like, I'm here, you're welcome, but also. Twitch is constantly being like, you're welcome. Be here, don't be here. Stop.
They don't give a shit.
Shut
they don't
up.
care.
Live, die. Be here, don't be here. And that's okay. That's how they run a business. That's how you make a very successful social media platform. It's not how you make a healthy content creator. No. And it's certainly not how you make a healthy person.
Well said.
I feel strongly about this.
Lots of people were talking about sleep. Do you all sleep nicely?
Yes.
What was there ever a time in your life when you didn't sleep, and how do you get to
the
sleep?
BlackBerry was going.
When I wrote my best music.
In the dark of night.
2 o'clock in the morning.
By candlelight.
I've always had like super high stress hormones since I was a child too. That's always been like a medical problem of mine. Shocking. I know.
Kim's like, let me add the hormones.
Oh my
Kim's
god.
like, I will.
I need to switch seats with.
Are we gonna talk about hormones?
It's gonna curl over.
So when I was a kid, like I would do all of that and above, but I would sleep like 14 hours a day. So I was seeing doctors all the time when I was a kid too, to try to figure out what was wrong with me. They still don't know. Surprise. Sometimes I wear 5 onesies and some googly eyes in my basement.
That's what it was.
We're not going to talk about that.
Lack of onesies.
Lack of onesies. I didn't have
you more outfits.
My first onesie was my dinosaur onesie. It was my very first online purchase, and I was fully an adult.
The inflatable one or the fuzzy?
The fuzzy one.
The caregiving
yeah,
one.
the inflatable
Wait,
one.
your
I like that
first
one
online
later.
purchase was a dinosaur onesie?
Yes.
So you didn't make an online purchase until 2020?
No.
What the fuck
This
do you mean?
Firmly in 2012.
How old are you?
Dear.
I got my first computer, and I just did
I was
my
not a
thing.
person of the internet before 2020. Also, I did not know what Steam was. I'm working on it. But no, always like 14 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
and so now like I literally can't. I need 8 hours, otherwise I would not function at all. Yeah.
Neo, I would say take your Fitbit off.
Yeah, your Fitbit's sassy.
If your Fitbit's giving you any kind of thing that you have to think about,
Because you would have
take it off.
hated BlackBerry Brenda.
Get rid of
She was
it.
so mean.
Sassy
She was
me
so
right now.
mean and mad.
Take it off.
All the time.
I don't know why people wear shit.
It
They're like,
reminds me
it
to
stresses me
move.
out or it makes me. I was like,
Oh,
Jay, move
it
it, take it
doesn't
off.
stress me out.
No, but I
Yeah.
don't even know if Neo would say that either. But I was like, there are other people that for sure that kind of thing always blows my mind. Where it's like, you know, there's this modicum.
Creating stress in your life.
Yeah, or like this modicum of like help, and then I'm like, yeah, but it's a 90% stress. I'm like, just get rid of it.
Right.
It's a good reminder that I'm like, oh yeah, I've been sitting on my computer. I need to stretch
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit. Because I wouldn't remember. There goes 5 hours of my life. What happened?
But that also the way that we forget, it's infuriating. We were talking kind of before we came on. I was telling Danny about I was having some back pain, and I was like, Kim, my back
Bye, James. Have
hurts
good sleep.
right here. What do I do? And Kim was like, these are the yoga postures that are going to be helpful for that. And they were my least favorite. They were the castor oil of yoga poses for me. And infuriatingly, they worked immediately. And so often we're just such dumb little plants, and we need the stupidest consistent, like you have to feed and water yourself and treat your body kindly if you can, as much as you can, and all of those things feel so insurmountable and difficult, and they just get harder the less we do them. And also it's infuriating how well they often work when people are like, what's the go for my stupid little walk for my stupid mental health. And you're like, no, but it is. That is the thing. They have to, it makes me so mad every time. I'm like, okay.
Well, and that's good. So they say too. My sleep tracker is a tool, and that's I think any tool is good. Like any tool that's helpful, and more than anything, I think for me anyway, when I was reading some of that sleep stuff, I was just thinking like, how many times do we just be like, oh, I suck at sleeping?
We also have the luxury of going to sleep and waking up when you work for yourself, when your body wants to. Huge advantage to be able to just my body's like 10 p.m. shuts down like a toddler. 5:30 go time, and nothing in between, and that's great. That's wonderful. But if I had a job that was like you have to be ready to go at whatever time, it's much harder to do that. Much harder. Yeah, I'm like irritating.
It's like
morning.
say no to 5:30. No.
Good morning.
Oh, that's awesome, Karen.
Who's ready? It's awful.
I did.
So I love having friends in other time zones.
That's awesome, Karen. I did a sleep study too. My point about that was like just keep doing stuff to like don't just accept it.
Yeah, sure.
You know, like I was like I think
machine.
oftentimes we're like, oh, I suck at this, or I'm not good at that, or I am good at this, or whatever. And it's like, okay, but are there a million other things we can try?
Or
I
again,
think instead of saying I suck
stuff.
at this, we could just be like, oh, I'm working on
I
this.
need to work on it, or I'm improving, or
What was that? I haven't done that yet. I have not done
Yeah.
yet.
You know, like when people are like, oh, I'm so bad at names. Why don't you just say, I'm trying to be better at names? Then you're just like, I feel like our mind doesn't really recognize the difference between truth and sarcasm or whatever else. And so when we just like always talk about the things we're shitty at, we're like, well, I'm shitty at this, and that's just there's no space to grow from that.
But we learn that. That's an inherent learn of like from early on, where it's like you're not good at math, you know, and it's like, well, maybe you weren't good when you were 8.
Some of us really aren't, though. It's not.
No, but that's not true. I don't think you're good
Half
at
of your job is counting, though.
Yeah, and you could be good at anything.
Half.
What do you mean half?
That's bad math.
That's an understatement. That's a bad understatement.
So, no, it's
I
really-
also
Danny's
don't.
also bad
I also,
at
yeah,
math.
I don't.
Funny.
Yeah, I'm working
So
on it
funny.
though.
Just you wait.
I'm working on it.
Wait.
That was
Just
part
you
of my
wait.
original jar plan was to
wait.
work on my math.
Yes, of course.
bigger bowl?
Yeah, the tool is a tool. The tool is always just a tool. No matter what it is.
Every
So
tool is
tools
a
are-
weapon if you hold it right.
Sure, yeah.
That's a quote. I didn't make that up.
That's true. That is
But
cool.
it is true. Tools.
Don't glued. I will not
5
cry
plus 10
again. I
equals
will
13.
not cry
That means
again.
Yes.
that means
Stop.
nothing here glued.
Thank you,
Stop.
Andrea.
That means nothing here glued.
I will
5 plus
be-
3 equals 13.
Because
Yeah.
it's
Ish.
because
Did you have a struggle?
it's yeah. I
Were you
did.
working on
it's
it?
because listen. It's because I counted a 5 duck, and then I counted 3 more, and I
yeah.
thought that the 5 duck was 2 of them.
8 plus 3? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
it turns out you have to add another 5.
I didn't follow that.
I don't think, yeah.
I don't know
think
what
you-
just happened.
Oh, you thought 1 5 was 2 5s.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Then it would have been 10 plus 3, 13.
that's right. But instead, I was like,
On
look,
that-
we
on
have
that side of the
13.
table.
Wow.
They don't understand what's happening.
That's fine. It's math. They wouldn't.
We'll pull out the abacus later and we'll teach them.
The answer is
Maybe we
1 bean, 2 beans, 3 beans.
What of adding frog to duck?
Also, sometimes you just suck at stuff, and that's okay too.
It's actually
That's fine too.
It's Kim bad. It's actually really fun to be bad at things.
It is
I
nice
think
to
it's
be bad at
great.
things.
What's something you learned about yourself while you've been streaming?
I'm so loud.
You didn't learn that.
So loud.
You didn't learn that. You knew that.
It's so much
That's
all
not
the
new.
time. All the time.
What's something you've
Whoa.
learned in this process
Whoa.
of streaming?
Oh, wow. About myself?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Or that you're learning.
I am learning that wow. One thing, huh? This is hard.
Yeah, it could be more. You could have 2.
Yeah, I think that I learned that I really enjoy being bad at things in front of people. I think that was a big fear of mine as a growing up and like learning new things.
Sure.
I think that's pretty normal. People want to not look
Sure.
stupid, or we like, we pretend like, oh, I didn't mean to trip. I meant to trip over that. But I learned that I really like the freedom and of being bad at something in front of people. There's no pressure.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh yeah, I'm bad at
That
this.
it's okay.
Well, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, there's like, I don't know, the whole world is suddenly in front of you when you're like, yeah, I don't know anything.
Right.
Fucking moron sometimes.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing will happen to
Nothing
you.
happens.
Nothing will happen to you.
Nothing
Yeah.
happens.
You don't get a grade. You don't
So
fail
true.
shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I also learned that digital collage is
That's
like
cool.
my jam.
Yeah. You
I
like that. Yeah.
didn't realize how much I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But I fucking
You love finding
it.
that weird shit
There's
and
so
putting
much.
it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did everyone see Kim's post on Instagram for today? It's so good. It's the 3 of us on it. We're in an adventure walk, and we all pull outfits, and I want mine. What about you? What'd you learn?
Well, I guess it's got to be about ourselves, but I think that one thing that was eye-opening through all this is that the world isn't as garbage of a place as I thought
Yeah.
when I started on
Yeah.
this journey.
Sure.
One thing that I got better at in these last couple of years, even though I'm working on so many other things, is like just overall self-esteem is definitely a whole heck of a lot better than it was many years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna cry. How dare you, Sean? How dare you, Sean, like bring us in and ask us these questions and then be like, why do y'all cry all the time? Go in and cry.
Weird.
I'll put my crayon.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that. I'm tearing up.
Look at his face.
Well, as long as you're crying with happiness, that's good. It's a nice sound. It's a really nice sound.
She's so loud.
So loud.
Just turn
Us
them.
when we're together.
I can just turn them down.
Shouldn't happen so
Just turn them down.
Smart.
Yeah, I can
That's
just turn them
smart.
down. Now nobody can hear them. They
I
can just
love
hear
it.
us.
Oh my god,
Mute
what a
us?
dream for them.
Don't mute
good.
us. We'll get louder if you mute us. And the other thing,
Heavy sigh.
beginning of this, how many times I said I will never be my own audio engineer. I will never be able to figure out this OBS thing. I will never be a computer person. Like the amount of like, I will never be able to do this that we've had to overcome in the last couple of years is like shocking. And there's so many things because we have this time on stream that I always say, like, I didn't even have the chance to dream of this dream yet, and it just suddenly happened.
Yeah.
So being able to go through so many different music goals and so many projects that were kind of dreams that I never thought would happen is huge. And like the crazy amount of technology that I've had to learn, and we've all had to learn through this, it took a lot of like, I'll never be able to do that, to sometimes I have people asking about the stream now. They're like, so who's in charge of like all of the changes and everything? Like who's pressing all those buttons? And especially people outside of Twitch, like when they see clips and stuff of like the cameras rotating and things. And like, so
the
like
lights going.
Like, who's your team like in charge of the, I'm like, hi, like it's just me in the basement. And sometimes there's a cat there trying to unplug everything. Like, but it's crazy. The sheer amount of stuff that we've been able to do these last few
Probably
years.
learning though one thing at a time.
One thing at a time.
Like that it's, you don't like. I think that's so scary when people watch like anybody's stream and it's like, oh my god, they've got so many things. But like your first stream wasn't that.
No.
You had a camera on a fucking Pringles can.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Like you know,
My
and it was
last
like
channel, I discovered there was a drum machine on the loop pedal, and I was
God,
like,
that's
"How
Yeah,
that's
right?
there?" And I'm
That's
like,
cool.
You just don't even know everything about all these
I
different
love
pieces
that.
of tech. Like you just kind of learn
Yeah.
the
I
love
basics,
that.
and you find it through
Yeah.
accidentally pressing the wrong button.
yeah, always incremental for sure,
Makes me
Neil.
so happy.
Always, and to be okay with that, and to be like, okay, yeah, we're just adding one more thing and one more little thing. Yeah.
So I guess the most important life lessons is that I'm not as garbage of a person that I thought that I was, and many people would like to have convinced me in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And that I can press buttons.
Yeah. One button at a time.
One button at a time.
What do you learn about yourself?
I think I remember talking to you when I was teaching workshops, and I knew I had something when I was teaching workshops, and they were going really well, and I was big time on the workshop treadmill, I would say, but I knew something was happening when I had people in the room, and I knew it was something that wasn't about like, I am the most skilled artist, but I knew that, and I didn't know how I could make it sustainable because I was in Ottawa, and it was this limitation of like, I can only do this for as many people as I can physically get in the room. And I think initially a lot of the things that I struggled with and had to work through for streaming was, how do I make that room? How do I make it feel like that? How do I make it feel like we're in a room? How do I make online a place? And that how do I make it feel, which isn't, I don't think I did that. I think I just learned that it was possible,
That can happen.
That can happen from meeting people and being part of communities and seeing how people made online different times a place, and now the ability to have, as long as the time zone and the language works for you, and honestly, even if like one of those two things works, it'll probably work. That doesn't have to be geographic. It isn't necessarily restricted by geography, which I actually think is how, as creatives, a lot of times we can get out of our own way, is if you don't limit yourself by geography.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's so many good lessons. I just wanted to point out, Carrot said something here. This corner of the internet is somehow filled with incredible people. I think that's something we've talked about that before, and I'm very adamant about this. Of like, the community is only what you make of it, you know, like I think they follow, you know, and it can be lovely, like it's a lovely community that I 100% agree with that, but like I often think streamers, you three and many others that I talk to included, aren't aware maybe even of like how their being on stream makes stream be back at them.
I feel that's I think that credit is shared. I understand that.
Yeah, I disagree.
I know you do. I know you do. Perpetually and constantly, and it's part of the deal of why I wake up every day and I'm like,
well, it's maybe
one
shared,
more
but it's
day
not
with
90-10
this
shared.
man.
90-10 shared.
But the idea that relationship can be symbiotic, and anytime people come in and they go, oh my gosh, I love it here. It is here, from something we're both we're
Yeah.
all
No, I do agree with that.
community is doing that, I'm doing that, and it's
But
symbiotic.
if you didn't do that first and you didn't hold that, they wouldn't take that note.
Maybe
Those people wouldn't be there.
Maybe, but I think
You know?
people wander in and they wait for someone to set the tone, and I think a big part of like community ambassadors. No, listen. You are not a listener.
I am listening.
The community ambassadors are as much the people in chat as they're like. I might literally be screaming and hitting a gong in
Thank you,
the
Rain.
art category.
Thank you, Rain.
What's happening?
Please read Rain's comment.
Rain. So
Also, hi, Katarina.
What is that? I believe that your community reflects you. Bless you.
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet Rain.
But I do inherently believe that all these people are really nice, wonderful people. Jenny's also in here. But then... But then also, look at, also she was like, Sean is wrong. Before I even said, it, she was...
Incredible. But doesn't that seem like I think logistically, we were talking about this on Discord, I think logistically about like, I'm in the art category, and when you look at the homepage of music or art, we've talked about this before, and you just scan down, we talked about this, and there's people, especially in the makers and crafting or the art, and it's like big project, little person, and this part of their head. Because they're down and they're doing, and that is or a VTuber of some kind, and all of that is totally valid. And also, I wonder how on earth did you? And you were like, I know the pink axolotl screaming with it. Is that an inflatable dinosaur? This person appears to be screaming and holding a giant jar full of ducks. In I go. You know, like there is something that the people who join us find people who are doing things you want to do and join them. So you're not wrong. Also, you're not wrong.
I just want people to understand, and I hope that as people are thinking about their stream, that it's like what you're putting on the screen is going to come back to you.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You know, and I love that that's like Carrot, again, said like it took approximately 3 minutes from Danny rating into you to be like, oh, this is a cool space. Like, one, I trust Danny, so Danny goes in here. Okay, if I trust Danny, Brenda's probably good. If Brenda's good, she goes into Kim. Kim's probably good.
Best friends, so
which I think is so important.
Be bringing our friends and be like, you love it here. Yeah. Look.
But like, I hope that energy. I hope as people stream and as people keep thinking, well, how do I become a successful streamer? It's like, oh, well, what's the energy you're putting into it? I'm putting really good, awesome energy. Cool, really good, awesome chat's gonna come along.
Yeah.
And the
Am
shitty.
I a fucking boner?
Yeah.
All these boners show up.
That's right. They do.
I think there's also like you want to create your space as well.
Yeah.
And you want to send that out. And sometimes some new streamers also feel the pressure to just keep whoever happens to be there. Pressure of having viewers.
You do not need.
You don't need to do that.
No, get rid of them.
If they're not matching your energy and what you're wanting, it's
Get 'em out.
okay. You got 2 people watching and one of them is being terrible.
Yeah.
Get them out.
Get 'em out.
Get them out. They're going to impact who else is attracted to that energy.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Well said, Magic. Well said.
Oh my God, magic.
Well said.
Oh my goodness!
Need your partner energy.
I was preparing to read it out loud, but no.
Magical.
You won't read that out loud, huh?
I cannot. My TTS mic.
Clipped and remixed.
Her TTS will say it for
turned
sure.
into an opera.
We'll find a way to make it so.
Clips.
Sometimes we have to talk about ball peen hammers.
This is how you were done. Here's all the times that you were done. They live on the internet.
Yeah, we have to.
They're now featured clips on your
Just
channel
all the time. I feel like I black out during streams sometimes, and I see the clips. And I'm like,
sometimes I don't cry because I just don't understand. Like my brain has not processed what just happened. Yeah. And like Kim said, if you have a goal in life of never looking ridiculous in front of a group of people, then maybe streaming's not for you.
Streaming's not for you.
You don't want to fail publicly, repeatedly,
spectacularly.
Make videos.
But it is
where you can edit shit.
Yeah.
Cut all the fails out.
But it is so freeing just knowing, oh, well, I just messed absolutely everything up and nothing bad happened. Yeah. People celebrated it.
I couldn't remember where wool came from. Wool. What do you even
And you have been a fiber artist.
I am a fiber artist.
Your stream background, we were talking about your stream background.
What
the other day, and the way that now there's like a couple of the vulvas and like tassel, like the little like tassel wool, but a huge part of it, like geographically, is actually like digital collage and stuff. Now it's like the slow expansion.
Yeah.
Well, this is my digital collage era, which I freaking love.
Yeah, I actually like. Since streaming on Twitch, I think there's a big difference between being inspired and being motivated. And I am the most creatively motivated I've ever been. Inspired, yes, but motivated.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a huge thing. Yeah. What comes
Why?
from storks? Because you can be inspired and never start.
What comes from storks, right?
You can go somewhere and see someone's art or hear someone's music, and that can inspire you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to actually do a thing.
Yeah.
I don't like.
So now you get to see stuff and you get to do stuff immediately.
Yeah, and I want to do the stuff. Right? Like,
Yes.
I can reflect on before I started art at all, thinking I wasn't allowed to make art. And
that's such a big thing.
What a big thing to think like, ooh, that can't possibly for me. I don't have any experience with it. So, and now I'm an adult, so I'm not starting. That's stupid.
Right.
And like I would just spend so many nights on Pinterest putting all of these crafts and arts and different boards. It's like, okay, cool, you're inspired. But now what the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah, now what? Now what?
You put it all together. What's the point?
Well, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think part of that is that we surround ourselves now and we're having these conversations and you're like, cool, what are you working on? Oh, that's awesome. I want to do shit. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, I want to do shit. Me too. And I think like you can be alone. I think a lot of times before streaming anyway, I think a lot of us and chat and everybody was probably alone being like, oh, I want to know where wool comes from, or I want to make fiber art, but I don't know how to start. And it's like, oh fuck, and it's like, cool, now you're motivated by other people being like, shit, you're filling your life with good people.
But what I love is that was like unlocking something for all of us, in that I never wanted to go, and I never felt I was a professional musician, and I am like the chop of the come and be in awe of me, and and for me that was a big thing when I was bringing crayons places, because I'm like, art is not for professionals, like music is not just for professionals who do this full time. Like, it's something that is hugely important in my life, and I just wanted to share that with people. And I think that breaking down that barrier and just seeing all of us fail, seeing all of us try new things, and saying art isn't just for somebody else and we're just gonna make Pinterest boards forever and always. I also went through that, Kim. Huge that we could break that down for ourselves, and then everybody else can see. Like, I totally professional musician in my inflatable dinosaur costume, like slamming on the piano, absolute nonsense.
But those are our most watched clips. None of them are my pretty paintings. None of them are my refined none of them have ever been on the Abrenda. Even there's literally never one time been something that was like, I planned for us to do this.
Jenny had a question, or Jenny made a statement earlier, and she said being successful can be hard. And I agree, what do you think a few things are that help your streams be successful? So one, we already talked about it, consistency. So being consistent, having a regular schedule, sticking to that schedule. I think treating it like it's a job sometimes, so that you wouldn't call into work if you had a tummy ache. I mean, I get that maybe sometimes you have other bigger, grander things that stop you from streaming.
Sure.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you're not feeling great or you stubbed your toe, okay, still you got to stream. You said Tuesday, 2 p.m. or whatever. So I think consistency, and then are there other things you guys think help? Or what's on your list?
I mean, I think one of the things that I didn't realize was going to be so much a part of streaming was that before, it's funny, we talked about this morning, before I was streaming, I was working as a community engaged artist, and a big part of that is like starting something, putting it out to the public and saying like, I've started this, I need you to finish it, or I have this idea, will you complete it for me? It's like a Mad Libs of art. Like, I've set a premise, I've outlined something, and a lot of times that involves, especially with some of the vulnerable populations that we would work with, it involves people coming in and being like, I have a different idea, or I don't want to do the thing that you want to do, or I'm going to take this a totally different direction, or I did the thing you said and it's not that great. I'm going to do something different. And like just letting people drive a truck through your plans is a big part of being a community engaged artist. Being like, oh, my idea sucks and you have a bet. Awesome. Cool. Okay, let's do it. And it sounds funny because now people literally drive a truck through my plans. But also like that's the most hilarious. We are doing something
as long as you feel okay
together, and I'm having a great time. Nothing happens on stream that I didn't fully say like this is hilarious. Do you know what's going to be so funny is if in the middle of what I'm doing, you can be like, oh, actually change outfits. Sorry, no, I want to see our God come down from the set. That's objectively so funny, and the way that our communities are all funny in that way that they're like. Oh, that's funny that you think. That's what hilarious that you thought. Actually, I want you to
like what a nice music. You add
probably. What animal should I add to it? Needs walrus.
What animals do you want to smash together?
And but being able to be like, okay, cool. It's fine to sit down and make a drawing and be like, look, I drew this. Believe for me, it's way more interesting to be like, okay, what are we gonna? What's the bull riding, like the bucking bronco thing that you can, streaming feels like sitting on one of those and waiting to see if it'll like chuck me off every single time. It's great. It's great.
What's it called? Bull riding.
Streaming is bull riding.
What's it called?
What is it called?
Oh, what was my question?
Bucking bronco rodeo.
It's
rodeo.
called bull riding.
Bull riding,
Thank you, Carrot.
Bull riding, thank you, Carrot.
What do you call bull riding?
Thank you, Carrot. You should add 42 layers of kazoo because you didn't know the importance of it. Exactly. And
but like
learning
releasing
from
that.
stuff like that and being like, okay,
releasing that, that's
hammer
okay,
on the redeems, totally fine.
Did you think when you first started streaming music that you were gonna like play nice music for a couple hours and then get on? People would pay for you because you're like, yay, that was a nice music
think people
thing.
Would pay anything.
Hooray!
That was
No,
part of,
but they would come and hang out, and they would be like, "You're a good musician."
My goal was that people would make art. That was
art.
That was my goal with doing the streams, is that they would have like a mental health space where they could come. I would play music for them and they would make art.
Okay.
That's all streams were. Like every stream was art.
You would play background music.
I'm playing background because that was my whole thing. All I did was play background music at all these places to try to afford studio time.
So you could just be Spotify but live.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I thought it was.
Excellent.
So that interactivity though, and that's what's so important, because as soon as you asked that question, I was immediately thinking about Streamfest, and the thing I'm trying to tell all the streamers who are doing it is sometimes people will straight up be like, oh, I know you're all here for this thing that I do, so I'll whisper you after, or like I'll acknowledge the chat later on, and I'm like, no, that's not the point. 5 minutes of whatever it is you typically do, people are like, oh, cool, that's what I can expect when I come here. 25 minutes of talking to people, which is the hard part, right? Yeah. It's so hard to there's like things going off and things exploding, or you've got a plan of things you're trying to do, and there's like a million people trying to talk to you, changing the conversation in all these different directions. That is the hardest thing, and that is the most important thing, and that's that interactivity, is you have to talk to the chat. And I know so many musicians and so many friends that were starting that they wanted to go and they wanted to do their 45-minute set. I stream that. That's what happens. And they're like, well, why isn't it working? Why isn't this? Why isn't that? Well, because people want to talk to you. That's what they just want to have a conversation. So sometimes like tea time started because like so many people were asking questions. I'm like, well, I'm trying to make music. Like, what are you doing? I can't answer any of these questions.
I am making a music.
I'm making. Stop trying to make me not
make my angry ukulele.
That's a good. It's true.
And so I was like, okay, well then we'll have a designated time for that. And like we had like office hours one day of the week of like trying to do the things when people are like, no, we just want to talk. We just want to talk. Let us talk at you. 0.9 songs an hour.
Right.
But how to make it interactive, how to make it something that people are building together. And as you were talking about like the community piece of it, I think a lot of us can be like very precious about the product, right?
Yeah.
And you see that a lot.
Gotta let that go.
In music and in art.
Gotta
like this is how it has to be.
Yeah.
And with music, like you'll never be done an album. Ever. It's like there's always something to fix. No. It'll never be perfect. And sometimes you don't want to be doing things that are that interactive because people will question your art or people will question the plan.
Yes.
So you have to let that go. But a big thing in that too is not only in like the creation of things and what you're creating, you're co-creating together when you're streaming, the management of it. So for me, that flew wildly out of control when we started the Discord. Everyone's like, do this, do that. Like, there's all these elements of streaming you don't know when you're just like, hey, I'm in lockdown. Let's press a button. So I'm like, oh, let's make a Discord. They want a Discord. I don't know what that is. Is it like Zoom?
Yeah, sure.
It's not like Zoom.
It's not like Zoom.
It's not like Zoom.
Not like Zoom.
Not like Zoom.
No.
So
No.
Yeah, and everyone's like, I want this, I want that. And for me, I'm always like, well, I want to give you everything you've ever wanted. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm one person and I'm drowning. So for me, letting go of the ownership of that too has been huge. And I didn't think that there would be so many people who would want to pick up that. It's like, you keep calling for movie nights. I can't. I can't.
Right.
Oh, well, then we'll do it.
Yeah.
So then letting go of like the vision for some of those spaces too, and the vision for community nights and things, like having people step in and host and help, and not being so precious about that too, can really help manage your workload when you're creating.
Letting people run your projects whenever you can.
And I mean, to everybody who's ever done that for any of us,
oh my god,
life-changing.
Yeah,
thank you.
We just put out, we have a sign-up sheet now for like a litany of projects, and it just goes out to say like who wants to help with what. And the way that people come forward and they're like, oh yeah, I can totally do that. Yeah, absolutely. And they're way better than I ever could be, is a nice letting go too, to be like, oh, you want to organize, but you want to make a spreadsheet? You want to run this calendar? Please run these things. You'll crush and I will fumble.
Is there anything on your list? So I think we've had consistency, interactivity, release expectations, letting others help. Is there anything else on your list? I mean, there's probably other things too, but.
I think like question your definition of success always. I think it's okay to not be so rigid in what that definition is. Like we were talking about before about how like, oh, I have to work extra hard all the time. I have to make sure that I'm touring. I need to teach 5 classes a day at 4 studio. That doesn't feel like success to me. That doesn't even feel remotely good. And so I think that we can change what our definition of success is constantly. There's no rule to what success looks like, and it's got to feel good. If you're someone else's definition of success, your parents think you're doing awesome, but you're miserable, is that really success? They're not living your life.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that for me, streaming has really been this, like, what is success? Exactly. Well, I'm really happy.
What is a successful stream for you?
I think...
I'm so excited.
I'm so stoked
for what you're going to say next.
Listen, it's not that I count the amount of times I say boner. I don't.
I knew that,
But maybe I should. If anyone is around and you would like to program that, be welcome. Anyway.
Not on this channel.
Neo's already done it.
Yeah,
Neo's already written you a program. There's a script for that.
Oh, yeah. You want a counter?
Yeah, Drongo already has that in his brain.
Probably.
Inexplicably, Drongo's like, yes, you have said,
I'm not sure if Franco's already
got a spreadsheet.
Written it. Yeah, he's got a whole spreadsheet for it.
Yeah, I think like when I turn the stream off and I'm kind of feeling like tired because there's a lot of output, but energized at the same time, and almost sad to have to turn it off.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To me it's like, oh, I'm really hungry for more. That feels like a successful stream. It doesn't matter if there was no hype trains today. Oh, okay, I had a really good time.
Yeah.
Who cares? Oh, I don't think people really were into chatting for this hour. And I still had a really good time.
Right.
And like we had fun, and I think that like if you're hungry for more, that feels like success to me. Yeah. I think there's like a type of fatigue that is satisfying. Like if you're somebody who likes to exercise, for example, sometimes there's like an exercise that you feel really tired after. Like people who like to go to the gym, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm so tired. I feel so good. Cool. Good job on your burpees, I guess. Not for me, but anyway. Oh my god. Like I just think anything that leads to that kind of fatigue, that fatigue and hungry for more, that feels like success to me.
Well said. That's really funny.
Oh, Luke, you're the best.
Luke is the best.
Wow.
Luke is the
Luke is a gift. Luke is a living angel gift. The amount of times that Luke has been like, just so you know, you've broken 10 things. I have fixed them. And also like says it in a way that's like, it wasn't your fault that you broke the 10 things. You could
It's
not
okay,
have
Luke, because
known.
Jenny's never going to get Mod of the Week, so you can just talk to Andrea. Andrea will probably get Mod of the Week.
Wow.
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 You got it.
Yeah, Neo, that was not your fault, though, Neo. You were taken away in a helicopter. You were busy.
Do you have
okay?
a delete Jenny redeem?
Nope,
Can I delete
not
Jenny?
here.
Dang it.
Jenny stays. She can say all the profanity she wants here. I just take them and I
Unless-
put them in
yeah,
there and then I go, use them later for bad.
Hi,
Hi,
Darwin.
Sam.
Oh, hi, Triangle. Hello.
Okay, so define success. I agree with that. But I also want to talk about something that I think a lot of people are like, well, if I make money doing this, that's okay. But you need to pay your bills, and I want you to keep streaming for a very long time if you're having fun and you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? Like, how do you realistically make goals, or like, what do you do to make that happen?
I'm going to need to take notes for this.
Oh, man.
Because I think it's so hard, but I think people go into that sometimes of being like, oh, well, it's okay if it comes, it comes. And I'm like, I have a hard time with that because I'm like, okay, yeah, but also, do you want to make this fucking work so that you can keep doing it?
I think it's a little easier to talk about this from the Patreon platform.
Okay.
Because Twitch truly is surfing a tsunami for me, and I'm grateful and overwhelmed and annihilated every time, and it's incredible. And also, all I can do is the absolute best that I can to like return that energy and be like, oh my gosh, you are showing up for me in every conceivable way. You are rallying behind the Crayon Fund in a way that feels like it should be a dream, and I am just constantly like, is this real life? Is this real life? And it's easier for me mentally to think about what I do on Patreon and how that translates, because that feels like a more direct translation. And we've both had conversations about the instinct and the desire when you're setting up a Patreon, because the transaction is a little more clear. You pick X number of dollars a month. In return, these bullet points below X dollars will be given to you. The thing about a lot of creators, myself included, is that no matter what the dollar amount is, we instinctively are like, every single thing I can squeeze from my soul will be given to you, because I want the perks to be proportionate to my gratitude. And that's not necessarily a healthy relationship. And our
It's not, because it's not sustainable.
It's not
You'll burn
sustainable.
out.
And our patrons, typically, we've had conversations where I'm like, hey, patrons, tell me the things that you care about. And they're like, I want to see you continue making the work that you do. I like who you are. I like what you're doing. I want to support you. Stickers, way down on the list. Do you know how much thought and effort I put into stickers?
And I'm sorry I opted out of stickers like 2 months in. I was
You
like,
opted out of
no,
stickers.
I want you to
And
have
you
your
were like,
time.
I want
yeah.
you to have your time. I want you to have your time. And many people, and like, I love making those perks and I love sending them out. That's almost as much for me as it is for the people who are supporting, so that I can feel like I have sent a thank you note.
Yeah.
Because I'm desperate to send a thank you note. But that
I feel that.
That proportion, again, I think comes from that idea that if you have always struggled, safety feels like danger or precariousness, because you just haven't had time for that to even out. And it's one of the reasons I will advocate for Patreon forever, because I think it's one of the only really, or any like membership feature, it's one of the only ways that we can really directly talk to people who are like, I'm subscribing to you.
I'm
Do
supporting
your
you.
thing.
Yeah.
Has your thing changed? Cool. There might be some people that are like, your thing is not my thing anymore. But there will be people who are like, I am so into your thing, and that's great. Whatever it is.
Can I give an insider behind the scenes from when you first started Patreon?
Oh my gosh. Remember when I first started Patreon? Oh my gosh.
One of the first things that Brenda wanted to make,
Streamer
because
gave a
she
Patreon
loved
cause.
making, was pins.
Comics.
Pins?
It was comics.
No, but pins.
The pins, yeah.
Because I was like, comics is great. That's great. You draw the comic, you put it up there, that's perfect. You don't have to mail or ship nothing. You want to make a pin? Cool. You're going to charge $5? That's not fucking sustainable. And she was like, but I love making pins. I'm like, I don't give a shit. You're never going to sell enough pins to pay the bills.
How many
She was like, I love making pins. And I'm like, you have to ship that to the UK, you dumbass. She's like, I want to make pins for everybody.
I just want them to
And
have
I was like, that's fine. Then charge them $20. She's like, I can't charge $20 for a pin. I was like, well, then you can't make pins. But I think it is that fine balance between. I don't think enough of us are real enough with ourselves to be like, oh, I really want to keep this cheap, and that's fine. That's great. I agree with that. I think that's good. But I also think that you want to be sustainable, and people would much sooner pay $8 more to make sure that you do it for a long time.
I also think we find a balance with.
Yay!
Oh my god!
There, work at Neo. Brenda will send you a pin.
I'll send you a pin, Neo,
for $5. You can have a pin.
Neo is
That's not
already
happening, by the way. That's not happening. It might be a virtual
Neo's
pin.
already a
It's not
patron
happening.
for way more than that. Neo, I will mail you a pin. Just
God.
you wait.
That's so funny.
So true. But that like learning what our value is and learning not to misunderstand your gratitude for your value.
Having friends chant baby goal at you for a while.
Hard.
Yeah, until you really figure it out. So you can keep doing it. Totally. Also, I wanna scroll back up because I wanna fight Rain here for a minute.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Fight. Rain said, maybe the perfect situation is a job that you can work around, or with whatever else you want to do. Doesn't just include streaming, but other personal. So I agree with that. I think that's one way to do it. But
I think
also,
we all do multiple things.
But I also hope that people feel like they can just do the creative thing too. I think we far too often are like, don't do the creative thing as your job. Do the job over here. And I think that's actually a good way to start. Streaming or doing whatever is like get a job that pays your bills
for 3.5 years,
and then
eventually
quit it, and then quit it, Danny.
I'm so excited.
Because then you make so much nice money, and then you can be comfortable, and you reduce your bills, and you change your lifestyle so that you're like, okay, cool. Let's do this.
It's gonna be so good.
And I don't think so. We're talking about Twitch, but I think it doesn't matter. Like you can find. So if you're a really good writer, great, go write. If you're a really good speaker, go make a podcast. If you're on Twitch, like some people have amazing talents and they shouldn't be on Twitch because they're boring as fuck. And it's just not going to happen. Some people are really amazing, at speaking. Not me. They should have a podcast or something like that, There's so many other ways. And like I think sometimes we try to force that that round, that square peg in a round hole kind of deal, And I think we're all guilty of being like, everybody stream, but maybe it doesn't work for everybody,
There's no pressure.
But I think you can find whatever creative thing you want to do. I still think you can like come in this circle and be supported in many different ways, and whether it's a Patreon or making jewelry or whatever. Figure that out. You don't have to stream to do that.
I think it's hard for me to answer the goals question because, I guess first rule of business is to make goals, right? And to go and do. But that wasn't a part of any of this planning in 2020. It was just, hey, this is a place that I want to be, and I am home.
Yeah.
So now I'm here.
Yeah. And you like it, and it's good, and it's comfortable.
So a lot of people ask, like, oh, well, how do you grow a community or do any of these things? Right. And I think it's just like, even that defining success, if one person comes into the stream and says, I had a bad day and now I feel a little bit better.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's awesome.
That one hits my heart.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Hugely successful.
Yeah.
That stream, that day, that thing that you did. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, yes, Neo, I want to point out that Neo said the fun part about boring as fuck is that there is 100% subjective. There's yay, 25 $25,
that's good.
It's a different pin. It's a different pin. The size of the pin gets bigger and bigger.
That's how big the pin is.
But it is true. So Neo, I do agree with that. 100% boring as fuck is subjective.
Totally.
There's always people who enjoy something, and that's true. You know what? It was funny. So and somebody else said Sean podcast when there is a podcast, by the way. It's called Do More Cool Shit if you want to go listen to it.
It's great. You want a pen and a pencil? Okay, Jenny.
Whatever Jenny wants.
You got it.
But there was a lady who told me on one of the episodes that she wanted to. So I know she has a high-profile job, but she really wanted to do something creative. And one of the most creative and fun things that she likes doing is taking stitches out of things and taking fabric apart. And I was like, oh, that's so fascinating. And she's like,
get so satisfied by that.
She's like, that just like that just like releases for me. And she's like, and I have some people that I give the fabrics to, and we're reusing stuff.
Just modding for the gods.
Just a link to the
And you can't take the mod out of the modder. You can take the mod out of the stream.
Yeah.
He might not even get banned today. That's amazing. Hey, Franco!
Don't ban Franco.
But that was, but anyway, she was so funny. So she ended up, she's found a whole community, and now they pay her, they bring her their stuff, and they pay her to take fabric apart, and she's found this whole community, and it's amazing.
But also imagine if that person had gone online and been like, I only see people doing like speed crochet to heavy metal. I'm going to try to speed crochet to heavy metal because that's the only
You put pressure on yourself to do that.
You have to take the time to find your own thing in an ocean of stuff that you're like, well, is that working? Is that working? Should I do this? Is this what I should do? Is that what it, which is, that I would argue is one of the hardest things and most valuable about like staying in tune to what hits, like when you feel connected to your community, when something's good and works and is fun, and trying to tune out what other people's success looks like, because the other thing that social media platforms do is constantly present you with, this is what you're up against. This is who you're competing with. This is who else has attention. You should want the attention that this person had, which is not, all of that is, if it motivates you, amazing. If that's making you feel joy and like you want to do more stream, awesome.
You want to mash more animals,
or and you're like, wow, I wish I could crochet faster to heavy metal like that super successful.
It's a great example
person.
You gave.
Yeah.
So many people want to link to that. Do you have a streamer in mind?
I was actually thinking of Nine. I don't think Nine plays heavy metal, but I was thinking of when Nine was doing the Pokeballs, Pokemon balls, and just trying to do them stuff. And it was this like extreme sport that was like, how are you in the makers and crafting? And somehow I'm like holding on to the edge of my, I'm so stressed for you. Only 9.5 could make that possible. But knowing what your thing is and having to sit right beside people that you are constantly being compared to, literally and figuratively, I think it's tough.
Yeah.
I think it's tough. And I don't think social media platforms are great at giving us good tools. Luca!
No pin required!
The pin is mandatory. The pin is mandatory.
I love this clapping. It's just like, yay! It's like we're on a game show.
Luke, you have to.
Thank you, Luke. You're amazing.
You're gonna get so many pins.
You will get no pins from me.
Millions. So many
pins from me because it costs
They're
lots
all
to send a
gonna
pin.
be the Eek series, just buckets of them. Just buckets of them.
Thank you, Luke.
Thanks, sweet Luke.
You're a champ.
Sweet, sweet Luke.
What a great champ.
Don't ruin this pin thing for us.
You get a pin. You get a pin. And the pin will just say, Sean did not condone this pin.
I like it.
That's what all the pins will say.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Senior Puzzle DMCS.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. No one will be getting a pin from me.
Yeah.
It's too funny.
That's a good point, Brain. Copycatting other people doesn't work unless you're going after the exact same community. Even then, I don't think it works.
It's hard to, like, anyone whose attention you have to fight for because you think it's going to, let them go. Yeah. You don't need that person's attention. If they're like, wow, my favorite streamer just came on and I'm going to go, okay, amazing. Find the room that is your favorite and be in it. That's the beauty of a million rooms. We're all curating a room for you. Be in it. That's totally fine.
That's It's really funny, Neil. Something I found out about today through my friend who has a 5-month-old. There's a Facebook group that talk about food they accidentally dropped on their child. I love that. I love that. But that's what I mean. There is literally a group for everything. Like you will always find a group for anything. Like there is something out there, and I think that is one thing that I've actually come. That's one thing that I learned in I think maybe the pandemic, it took me a while to learn in Twitch, was that there are so many nice people, and we can all be in these like little communities and we all go around. But I think there's so much pressure to keep being in those chats, even though maybe it's not for you sometimes. And it's like, it's okay. You don't have to come to every single stream, or you don't have to stay with the same cohort, or you raid in. I think people raid sometimes too, and they're like, oh, so-and-so's on, so I'm going to raid them.
Yeah.
And because it's the nice thing to do. And it's like, it's okay if you go find other people. It's okay to broaden the horizon. It's okay to leave this nice little community. Because like, we know all these people in here for sure. You know, but it's okay to find
schedules too, and it hurts
Yeah,
my heart that they're like,
yeah,
oh, I
for
don't want to
sure.
stream. Make your schedule to serve
to.
you. It should
have
only ever
Yeah.
serve, because you'll have to live with it the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time.
And I can really enjoy someone, and I can really enjoy a few of their streams, but then I'm like, I don't have to go to every one of their streams all the time. Like, I can still enjoy, like, I don't have to go there every time for them to know that I like them.
Magic.
Or I hope
Oh
that's
my
the case,
God.
you know?
For sure.
Magic. All these nice people.
Yeah.
And Jenny.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah, Magic said that. I didn't.
Magical.
Magic said that, not me.
first time?
I would never.
Karen, did you find that? Did you find visceral vocabulary that I told you about? You two are going to be, you're going to like them. You're fully going to just drag them. They're not even going to know what hit them. I need you to go be an ambassador, because they're going to.
Well, and like Razor, I think that's true. Like, there are times of years for different streamers. For me, I think there's also just how do I feel that day? Like, do I just want to sit and watch somebody carve some wood for a little while? Sure. And like, they're just sitting quiet. They don't really even talk. Like, I have that streamer, and I just sit and watch that guy do it, you know? And then I'm like, okay, but now I need some energy, so I'm going to go over here. Or, you know, whatever. I need music. I need whatever the match, you know, I want to watch animals just randomly be mashed together. And I'm like, but if I don't come to your stream, you're not sitting there going like, oh fuck, Sean didn't come, like, I hate that asshole.
That's what you think.
That's what I think.
It's a very good button. Good button.
I'm just constantly looking. Is Sean
Razor,
looking?
the Goblin
Is Sean
Chaos
looking
needs
yet?
you. The Goblin Chaos needs you. You are the Goblin Chaos.
Yeah, I think that's 3 for you, Jenny, and 1 for Kim.
Wow.
Maybe it was 2.
I'm
I
still
don't
winning.
remember. You're what? You're winning? No, Jenny's in the lead. Jenny
can't
leads
be
that.
Right. Listen, I'm not great at math, but that can't be right.
That's 2 for Kim?
Andrea's
Oh, wow.
Andrea's
You said 2 for
keeping
Kim.
track.
Oh, I didn't even know.
I would trust
I
Andrea.
gave you 1 before.
I would trust Andrea.
Sure.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, whatever Andrea says, I just,
I know,
Andrea's
right?
the best, yeah.
Silently clocking everything just to
Kim
come in
won't shut up
clutch.
about Sean.
So funny.
Edit advice I gave to someone else.
Razor,
Get
sweet
comfortable
Razor.
with the bed that you
Andrea
make.
is always right.
In terms of how you run your stream, the community, etc. What others say should be nothing more than advice that you consider based on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. So funny. It's been a nice time with Rain fighting and agreeing.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Wow.
All right. Well, there is one more thing that I want to do. So while you guys are sitting there, I have some questions about
Suddenly.
Well, there's a very interesting thing that I want to do. I think we're gonna find out. So
Get your hand puppets. Who knows what might be coming
one of the
next.
things that I want to talk about, and I think it's important, is we're gonna go here, and yep, that's very good. That's nice. We have our hand puppets, and we're gonna come here.
Oh, look!
So
Oh my gosh.
I want to talk about how important we think it is to have backgrounds. Like when you're actually physically setting up your streams.
Oh, this makes me happy.
What do we think about?
It's so nice.
What do you think? Like when you were first setting up your background, is that important to you? Like when you're streaming, because I think it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I decided
Rain, you
that the
don't.
whole room was now background.
Yeah. Right. Like
Look at how this is so perfect. This is like in it. That's making me so happy.
yeah. Patches is also here. Yeah.
Which is perfect.
Patches is also here.
No,
Your
always.
background's been through
Always.
a few iterations
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Remember when this was when that was that like gigantic table, like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
whole.
Yeah.
Is it here?
Yeah, it was
like
right
this?
behind. It was a
Yeah.
huge desk because that's all that was down there before. And there was a bunch of furniture and everything else.
Yeah.
And then it just realized like, oh, this space is never going to be anything but a stream space.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Sure.
just committing to like a whole entire part of your living space. Okay, well, this is now stream space. Get rid of the furniture. Let's move it all around. So lighting in the back is super important, which I didn't have at first either. And that was really impacting my lighting when I started.
Yeah,
That like I would try to light candles and then the camera would be all confused and that would make me a weird ghost.
That softbox one that you have that like would be on the other side of the table is really good too. It's a nice diffused light.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
having those little background lights, having a colored lamp in the back is like a huge upgrade you could do to your stream, even if you're using a webcam. Just having one colored light in the back, like
right.
completely changes everything.
Separating yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was also a question. So on Insta, I asked some questions, or asked a question about like what if people could ask things, what would they want to ask? And one of the things was overlays. So this was Streamfest. Oh, maybe this is a little bit. We can't see the full image here. Hang on. Let's see if we can't raise this.
Because the table's here. Are you trying to talk about the Dinosaur Streamfest overlay?
Yeah, just the overlays and like even like up top, like where it's like request closed and like having that. Like how important are some of those things to have?
Oh, it really helps. I mean, event overlays helps to make the whole event feel like an event, right?
Yeah.
Like you're in 30 different spaces during the day, but it's all coming together for this one purpose. So unifying it took, the first Streamfest was just my pandemic birthday. So the rest of it is like, it probably took like 4 or 5 Streamfests before I was like, okay, this is actually an event. And like, we need to treat it like an event and not just like, come sign up on my Google Sheets. And
I mean, to be fair, people do still come sign up on the Google Sheets. Oh, that's nice. It's like, homie, it's fine.
Yeah. But then starting to treat it like it was a regular thing that people were identifying and people were wanting to sign up. It just got bigger and bigger. So having that overlay for an event or a raid train is super important so that people know, oh, I didn't get lost. Like, oh, I am still on this thing, because we know that technical issues happen too. And if you're a music streamer, having something that says requests are closed, oh my goodness, it often doesn't work, even having it on this stream, but having it there really helps when people are just flying through and just shouting song requests at you. Having it there, and people ask all the time. And wanting like it to be easier on the moderators, because people come through like, what song is happening? Like, what's happening next? So having that is like a really important thing when you're doing music, at least.
How do you make some of your overlays? What tools do you use?
Oh, well, at first, I mean, I was using a lot of Photoshop, but it's Photoshop for the request close sign, and then that is just generated from streamer song list bot. So there's a lot of overlays that you'll make using the bots that are offered, and huge love to all the developers who make bots and help stream things. And I'm seeing Dermo in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Thank you for the hee machine. But Songless Bot is created by somebody who is moderating a music stream and wanted to make it easier, and then made this tool just available for all these music streams for free. Like, it's a huge, incredible thing that people do. So some are created that way. I mean, some Canva is a really easy tool for people to use who are just getting started. If you're scared of graphics and you're like, I don't even know what to do with this, like, there's lots of free tools you can use to make some of your overlays as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Cool. Okay, we've got a little, now we're in the studio. So we're talking about, so even your overlay, so like vastly different. I know this is only one scene.
I think this is before the reorganization.
This is this is before.
I've never been on this side. No, I have been on this side of the screen.
Yeah, this was old.
Our first,
this is old time. So you know, you've got your overlay kind of thing. What's going on? Like, how did you make that? How did you decide to do that? Why? All that good stuff.
I think one of the things was, again, like looking at when I scrolled through the makers and crafting in the art section, having like little doodles and stuff that were up. Also having the doodle queue is open, the doodle queue is closed, serves a practical purpose. Yeah, having the little...
There, Neo.
Little... where's the Phoenix there in the background?
It's there.
I think Sean took some screen cap. Yeah, see, look at it. It's like, it's
here
behind me. We're super.
Now you can see it.
But, and also, this does tell you something that I think, you know, we were talking a little bit earlier about place. And overlays serve a practical purpose, like saying the stream is open, the stream is closed, giving indication of like, this is who I am, I'll point to this when a raid comes in and talk about it, having your links, like those are practical purposes. But I think we're signaling or communicating something, and I seeing this, it's a lot. My stream's a lot. It is a lot. And there are times that people come in and they're like, whoa, not for me. And that's totally valid. It is totally reasonable to come into a space that looks like this and go, this is too much for me. That's completely fine. And also, I've kind of given you like a visual shorthand for there's going to be a lot. And it's not just this. Like, this is the overlay. This is what I've done. But we talk all the time about we've both made some very different choices, but with some similar goals of like, this is nothing. This what's missing is that Danny's whole head would be like the gong going off, and like a plane comes through, and like a pop up, and then oh no, change it. This theme song's coming, and she's disappeared, and she's changing her outfit. All of that stuff is
and some of it's specific to category.
Totally.
Yeah.
Some of it's like
loud alerts. I can't do that. Like most music streams, you don't hear the sounds. It's
what
just
purpose
the music.
would that serve?
So,
Yeah.
So very different.
And like a
alerts
shorthand
things.
for this is kind of the tone. I'm giving you as much information in a short amount of time, especially if as it gets a bit hectic, I might not be able to individually be like, hi, new friend. Now I just desperately go like, I'm just trying to make it out alive. I'm just trying to stay vertical. Can someone explain to a new person what's going on? And
I think it changes too. Like your overlays have changed. Mine
Yeah,
changed
for sure.
a dozen times. And
Seasonal
the background,
decor.
it becomes like my background is mostly community stuff at this point.
All the art that
pieces,
people have sent.
Yeah. And
gifts from the community that are now like
so it's
part
like
of
yours
the
didn't
lore.
always look like this.
No.
Yeah.
And it grows, like letting it grow and evolve organically, I think
Wait,
is also...
can you point to your art
nice.
again?
But it's that...
Yeah, there. Thank you. There you go.
Excellent. Good job.
But because again, this is a space that we built. I did not
Yeah.
furnish this.
Well, and it took a while.
It took a while.
It also didn't start like
Some
that,
time.
you know?
Didn't start like that.
Actually, it's funny when we go back to like the very first, like.
You can see it in my channel trailer.
Yeah.
That
Go back
initially
and
is like
watch
a
one of the
blank
very
background.
first. Yeah.
And there's not, because it hasn't happened yet, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to wait for the community. We were talking about naming channel points.
Yeah,
and you were like, do I
yeah.
have to name my
Yeah.
channel points? I was like, oh no, but they will be named.
Yeah.
Give it a second.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Somebody will.
People will come up with a plural noun for your. Yeah. See, this is very different, and now it's all. This is the new setup.
there's
But
your
all
new,
of these,
yeah.
this is all things people have made.
But like even
they've
you
sent.
talking about like having the I don't know if you said that, but having the Franex like in the
it's my
frame, you know,
co-host.
like
The Franex and
there.
the Patreon board.
It's the same as like I don't know like
The
the.
Franex would be right there, and the Patreon board is right there, because those are that.
Here we can.
They're the boss of the
Take a
shy.
full look.
I don't even go here.
We'll take a full look there.
The detention board and the detention tower, the Hunzies Hall of Fame, my emotional support animals, the calendar that was made for me by the community, 2 giant frames full entirely of art that people have made and sent, all of the crochets, the little things out of Advents, like all of that is cumulative, and the layers and layers of lore that I think are built up is one of the things that makes it feel like something we are doing, as opposed to I have curated this space. You may come in, you may sit here.
Yeah.
You may have a blue marker in the I don't know. Come on in. I don't know what we're doing. I have no idea.
There's stuff everywhere. I'm not responsible. I don't know why I have this many tiny dinosaurs. I know.
And you probably could say the same thing. I can look at
100%.
everything in this background and tell you who made it, where it came from, who sent me what.
I had to put up a secret shelf that's not even on frame because there's already so many things.
Yeah.
There's actually like 2 secret shelves of just things.
Yeah.
That occasionally people come in to collab, and like you can see like, oh, there's an entire shelf of like, this is not a cult, just reminding you of just little things. And no, I mean, they're the most precious thing. Like again, like dreams that you didn't know you had, like people would take the time to like hand make all of this stuff. And that it would mean this much to somebody else as it means to you. Yeah.
So you two have your own space. Can we talk about your little space?
You're
do you want to
right
go? Do you want to go over yonder?
Sure. Here, switch spots.
Switch with Fernando.
Here, I'm gonna refill my.
We'll take a look. We'll take a look there. You're right there.
Kim's here.
You don't even look, Kim. You don't even.
Oh, you don't need me.
See, you're already there. Don't even worry about it.
Excellent. Danny, do you want to refill your water?
You know what happened that I had to laugh at? There, you're gonna sit beside yourself. That's good. I wanted to laugh at this because these guys both always are leaving their streams.
Yeah.
But you very rarely ever actually walk off stage. And I was like, all right, well, we got to do it.
Responsible streamer who actually stays. Imagine.
But
Imagine.
also, I just thought that was funny. We could do that.
Yeah. Sweet.
Sean told me he was going through clip by clip, and he was like, "It's great. You and Danny wander away all the time. There's tons of opportunities."
I'm always around.
But I did find this, and I mean, I know you're still kind of there, but this, like, I want to talk a little bit about, because you're in like a main space. So how do you use a space and keep it flexible enough? You know?
Yeah. Ooh, I have to really work with what we have.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a mirror in the background, and every time I stream, I have to. It's very heavy. It's like so old that the mirror part is starting to de-mirror itself. So I have to turn it around so that I can get to the green screen.
Right.
I have to move if there's anything on the shelf. I have to move it. During Kimsember, there was like a whole process of putting like so much stuff everywhere, and then trying to remember kind of where it is and putting it back like a little puzzle. So for me, I think right now it's trying to keep it sort of simple. And easy to like have my life after. Because really, this is kind of our dressing room / main living space.
But you've kind of innovated some stuff that's digital to stand, like the way that Neuro spice rack.
I love your spice rack.
So
you know,
smart.
can we talk about that? Yeah, that's a great point.
Smart.
Because I love that just like kind of slides in.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's not actual furniture.
Yeah, exactly.
So how did you come up with that, and how did you even learn to do that?
You know, I think people often talk about being neurospicy, and I immediately always think about the spice rack.
Right.
And so I was like, I wanna have a space where people can feel like it's safe to take the mask off. And like I'm pretty comfortable with talking about like having dyslexia and dyscalculia and dyspraxia and ADHD and I think talking about it in a way that isn't like, well, this is my brain and I can't do things because my brain is this way. No, I'm seasoning my life, and you're welcome. I'm seasoning yours too. So get in here, bring your spicy brain in, and let's like make things a little more interesting by sprinkling that spiciness into it.
Wait, is this true, what Andrea's saying? We're looking for a spice rack? Are you looking for an actual spice rack? Do you want an
I think it would be actually really cool to have an actual spice rack.
You want to roll? You want to roll this thing in?
Yeah,
next iteration.
I think
okay,
it would be cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, and also you've made a real point, I think, of making that inclusive in your stream, but also in your yoga practice, which is one of those things that I think makes people feel very at home, because we don't necessarily get spaces that are kind of like celebrating that, as opposed to just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I won't fault you for it, as opposed to like, let's put it on this. This is amazing. This is your superpower.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And like people talk a lot about like, oh, dyslexia, it is a superpower. And it doesn't really feel like that, you know, and it's okay. But also, it's also not that bad to have a different brain.
Yeah.
You know, like it's only a challenge because we live in this made up world that everything is like designed for a specific pathway of brain. And I wanna have a space that I feel comfortable in.
Yeah.
For me, showing the spice rack
like
this,
that was cool.
Yeah, is like, hey, like all of these things, they're probably really challenging. And also like, fucking come in here and relax, chill out. It's fine. Take your mask off and just be you. You're great the way you are.
Yeah, that's good. And you've done that. I think you've done a really good job of like creating that space, both physically in your stream space and on like just in the headspace as well on that stream. Katarina said, sometimes we are not aware of all the effort behind someone's stream. It's really impressive how hard you all work. And it's true, but it's also fun, I think, some of it, right? I think some of the times you're trying to figure out what exactly it is you're making or how you're making it. Some of that stuff can be super fun, right?
I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like part of the thing about being bad at stuff and having to learn each time and having that homework book is like, it's kind of like setting up a new apartment. You know, like I have no idea what this stream is going to do. What the fuck is an overlay? What are you talking about? Like,
and it didn't take very like you didn't know any of that shit.
I knew nothing
9 months ago.
Yeah, literally nothing at all.
Yeah. And
my first streams were on my cell phone on the other side of the room, and I had my iPad. They weren't even talking to each other. They were just like nearby.
I was just in front of your house. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I just thought I'd come over.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like what you've done with the place.
Yeah, thank you.
That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. I hope to move soon, so don't get used
Okay,
to it. Don't get cozy.
I won't get comfy.
You're welcome, Rain.
Yeah, and it luckily went okay. Turns out I didn't have enough internet, so I'm not even sure it was just
You had to soup up so much, like right at the beginning.
Bye, Triangle. Thanks for coming in, Triangle.
It was so much.
Trooper.
Yeah.
Previs. Hi, Previs.
Yeah, when people ask you what like your internet speed is, I'm like, what is that?
Oh my god.
What
yes,
I
the
don't
first
even know what
time
that
somebody
means.
was like, what's your whatever it is?
Your bit rate.
Do a speed test. What
Yeah.
does it say? I'm like, I
don't know.
What's a speed test?
Yeah.
That's
You take it a stopwatch, you're like, and go!
Exactly.
How many internets?
I don't know how many internets do you have?
So many of those things, like you could get the way that things like this and talks like this and communities like this can alleviate. Like I remember we were talking about people will just self-select and they will be like, I know about that. It's fine. Like when we were talking about Discord, and I was like, someone's gonna they're gonna emerge and they're gonna be like, you don't know for Discord. I will Discord your Discord.
I don't know for Discord, so if you would like to Discord my Discord, please message me.
And it's also a really good thing, I think, in here to like say those things and to be okay with those things. And someone will know and someone will help.
Yeah.
And that's great. You know, I think so many times we're like, oh God, I have to know all this shit. No, you don't. You have to know, you don't have to know almost anything.
I don't know anything about how my stream works.
You have to know how to put on a good show.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, like all that upgrading from one thing to another. That like slow upgrade from cell phone and iPad to laptop that literally can't do it. It barely does YouTube now. And then getting another laptop thinking this will do me for a year. And then being bottlenecked. That was actually kind of a gift a little bit because I wanted to do more, but I was kind of at my capacity for learning at that point. You know, like there was so much going on. Yeah. And so I think that bottleneck was really good for me to be able to get kind of comfortable where I was. There was still hiccups now and then for whatever reason. Stream Elements is a bit of an asshole sometimes. And I don't know, alerts just do whatever the fuck they want for some reason.
Sometimes, yeah.
You do have some funny, like sometimes you got some straight up voodoo going on.
Holy shit, yes.
And people say that, but there are times that Kim showed me something like,
I don't know.
The one time I don't even know what was happening. But
remember that time we sent the video to Cause of you anywhere near, and he was like, "Why are you two together? Why do you have your computer? Get away from that!" Took years off of Cause's life.
Yeah, there was a couple people I don't even know, but Drongo was there. Drongo was like, "I've never even seen anything Borkin this way before."
Yeah. Right.
And I was like, "Cool, I don't know what I did."
I did it.
I think it's a very scary investment, though, when you're when we're talking about like being an artist, being a streamer. Yeah. In the beginning, I just bought all the cheapest gear that I could possibly, and it broke, and I immediately grew out of it. And I was like, okay, so the second upgrade, like I spent more money than I would have ever spent on myself ever in my whole life.
Yeah.
Scary money,
and it's lasted me now 3 years. So it's like okay, but that big scary investment in the beginning, it's worth it to get the gear that you think like you can grow into.
Yeah.
So first, like, oh, I don't really need that. Like, I don't need that many inputs on my audio interface right now. But had I gotten that other one, I would have immediately outgrown it 6 months down the road.
We walk a funny line between kit that is going to solve a very real problem and kit that you imagine is going to solve a problem you don't really have, or it's going to solve the wrong problem. Like sometimes we, especially depending on what we're doing, like there's some very real practical concerns that you would have as a music streamer that you're like, it can't sound bad. My audio can't be junk. And there are things that I could do, like, if I don't have a good way to show my iPad while I'm drawing, that's really going to hinder. In the world where I was doing art, I don't want to hear it. I know, just imagine, suspend disbelief for me for a second. And those are things that are, like, when I first bought an iPad and Sean was like, you should get an iPad. I was like, an iPad is so many dollars.
Yep.
I will never make money again.
Yes.
We used
What
to buy
if
one
never?
frame. We would buy one
It was
frame
so
at a time.
scary.
We would go to IKEA. Brenda would be like, I sold a piece of art. I would
this
go to
story.
IKEA.
One frame.
I would buy one frame.
Yeah.
We would come
I'm
back home.
never gonna
We
sell
would
another piece
put
of art.
that piece of art in the frame, and then we would ship it or
Yeah.
give it to whoever.
Yeah.
We didn't ship it because there was no money, but we would have given it to someone, and then it would be like, oh, now it's Tuesday. I have sold another piece of art. Let's go back to IKEA and get another frame.
Yeah.
And I was like, finally, it was just like, oh my God, we're buying a whole fucking box of frames. I'm not coming back here ever again. And she's like, but what if I don't ever sell anything? I was like, you're going to sell something again.
But sometimes you need that belief and you need the track record from your community also to be like, am I investing
Yes.
streaming dollars?
Or from a nice friend or a
from a nice
partner. Or
Totally.
whoever, but you need to find someone.
Get someone who's
Because of that story, I just got my first shipment from Uline of all of the supplies for shipping art.
Yes.
Very
And I was like, maybe
Get
I'll
it
just
from Uline.
I'll go
Get
to
a
Dollarama
1,000.
and I'll get 5. And then you told me that story. It's like, okay.
And it does, and it
I
also
got 1,000.
Yes, thank you. Just get 1,000.
Just get 1,000.
practical. It's more financially viable, but that is a big, scary. Remember we talked about the difference between 20 patrons and 100, and the way that there's this middle ground, this desert between like 20 and 50, where it's more expensive to make multiples of any kind and ship them out when you're at that 50 or less mark. If you're physically set and something happens in many shipping and multiples and packaging and everything, where if you break 100, suddenly your per unit cost is like, but you gotta crawl through that desert to get to that point, and it can be very time expensive. It can be very emotionally expensive. Can give you the big money scaries, and then mean people will yell at you about it.
Not mean, nice people will yell at you. Nice people will yell at you. Just buy 1,000 mailers, you dumbass.
We've talked about.
You're gonna sell them eventually.
We've talked about betting on yourself.
That's fine.
And like that you're curating your space.
He's proud of me.
And
That's
like
good. Yeah, I like that.
making a space specifically for streaming, because you're like, I would not bet against me. Being successful I bet on myself being able to do this, and I have some skin in the game now. For being able to
Take our money,
Definitely.
freaks.
We also talked about how like that each
take our money,
thing that
freaks.
had to be fixed or upgraded, like change your internet. Now you need a new Ethernet.
Yeah.
Like get a new like each one of those things, that's you're making a conscious choice. You're either like, fuck this, or you're like, no, actually, no, I deserve this. And I think when you start making those conscious choices, as you already know that you deserve it.
Yeah.
Right? So otherwise,
It's like you have self-belief.
What? Anyway, I'm looking at you, Danielle-allard. You already know that you're successful, and you deserve it.
We don't have that redeem here.
Before I made any of those updates.
We don't have that redeem. Nobody redeemed that you sing everything. Just say it.
Sometimes it's free. I can't help it.
I cried for 2 weeks trying to do that big
So
upgrade.
real. So
2 weeks of tears trying to do that big upgrade. And then I burst into tears that first stream because people were hearing me for the first time properly. And so for them, everybody in the chat is like, we can hear you. Like, this is crazy.
That's
Like,
fine,
you'd all been there with me for like a year, helping me to be able to afford that upgrade, and then doing the upgrade, and people were like crying, being able to actually hear me for the first time. And I'm like, I'm crying because this was a lot of work, and I'm really happy that like the investment seems worth it.
Yeah. When I did the first stream with the new computer, the new desk puppy, I was looking at, and the I don't have a new screen. It's like an old screen, and it's fine. Like it works fine.
Yeah.
But when I was like, oh my God, is that what it looks like? Oh my God, I'm so good.
And you're like, wait, nothing froze?
Yeah, I was like,
amazing.
I was floored. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
So, wait.
Okay, stream elements.
Sorry. What did
Go
you say to
off.
yourself when you saw that it looked good? What did you say to
That's
yourself?
so funny.
Who was good?
I'm good.
You were good?
I was good.
You were good.
I mean,
Sean's
You were good?
looking for credit
Excuse
for
me?
helping with it.
I thought he was gonna be like, say that again, because I'm so, no, it's like,
Gonna
no,
keep
I
making that
am good.
until
No, me.
I know.
Yeah.
You're like, I need a new computer. And I was like, hey,
Yay,
here.
Sean!
Yes, thank you.
for putting all the parts, doing the thing, helping me get the thing. And also I was like, I'm such a good streamer. Oh my God.
Yes.
Also,
And now also you.
I'm so cute. I'm going to make so many ducks kiss.
Whether they want to or not.
Whether they want to or not.
Sean redeemed praise Sean.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you.
That's true. Actually, I had no idea how to upgrade what I needed. I didn't know anything.
Maybe
I was
that
like,
will be
"Could you just
maybe that'll be the only
put
routine
it
on
all
this.
in a
Just
jar?
praise
A
Sean. I
jar.
like it.
Praise
There you
Sean.
go.
What's the
See, it's
internet
all
jar?
it's
I
all
don't-
interactive. The
Praise
community determines the only channel.
Yeah.
What's an
Point is
internet
praise
jar
Sean.
at a website? I told Sean to put everything in a jar on the website for the computer.
It's not a jar.
What is it?
What?
What is that?
Chat
What's
normally
the
helps you out.
Yeah.
No,
What's that?
no. Just let her struggle for a minute. It's okay.
browser,
This is what
search,
happened.
browser,
It's
search
like
bar,
it's a
search
Tuesday. It's like it's a
No,
Tuesday.
When you're shopping.
Cart.
Cart.
Instacart. I mean, cart.
Jar.
Cart.
Okay.
Cart. The answer is cart.
The answer is cart.
I win
Cart.
Kimmism.
Drongo got it. Also,
Drongo.
Brenda got it. Cart.
Of course,
Cart.
Drongo got
No,
it.
Drongo
Of
got
course,
it.
Drongo
Brenda
got
got
it.
it. Well, Drongo's
Andrea,
used to
don't
getting
help
it.
her.
So is Brenda.
Jar is life, so
Yeah.
I understand. I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah.
Head to jar.
is
Don't
life.
help
Yeah,
her.
Buggy. Yeah,
Buggy,
Buggy.
yeah, yeah.
Christy. Yeah.
I mean, I brought my jar here, so I understand.
Never travel without your legion of small objects.
But then Sean helped me pick up my desk puppy and drives me back to my house. Puts it all,
Oh, yeah, total fuck
puts
up.
it all together.
I asked her, don't even start before that. I said, hey, Kim, do you have a keyboard and a mouse? Because we're going to have a new computer that's not going to have a keyboard and a mouse.
I do, yeah.
And she says, yeah, I have a keyboard and a mouse. No problem. Keep telling your story now.
You may continue.
Now we picked up where we originally. Now let's start where we've left off here.
So then we go
Yeah.
back to my house.
She's making your dinos
We
kiss.
take it out of the box.
She's making your dinos
Take the
kiss.
puppy out of the box.
It's just second nature at this point.
And
This is what she does when she's nervous.
Yeah, I'm
She makes
nervous.
things kiss.
I'm nervous. I need them to kiss so I can fucking relax.
Be smoochy. Kiss nicely.
Yeah. Then what happened? Oh yeah, we have to like type in something to turn it on. You
The
gotta-
password for the fucking internet. The password for the internet.
We needed a password.
Yeah.
And so I was like, great, I have this keyboard. Here's my little keyboard. That's Bluetooth. And it won't connect to
Yeah,
the
she goes, oh, it's Bluetooth. I'm like, well, what the fuck? We're not in the computer yet, Kim. I was like, can we? And also, I want to point out for everybody in chat
I didn't know.
that she goes, no, it's not even a Bluetooth keyboard. Let's be real here, chat. It's not even a Bluetooth keyboard. It's a keyboard for a fucking tablet. I was like, he's like, well, it's got the pins. I'm like, well, it's a fucking
Entire
computer.
creator check-in was just leading up
was
to
like,
Sean's
what do you-
airing of
what do you
grievances.
mean?
We have reached DMCS's airing of grievances.
This is the grand finale.
Sean will now tell us all how we have donked up and when and how much.
I do have
and
questions
how he
about
has
why you're dumb, but that's
suffered.
gotta wait till next
Why
time.
he has suffered and suffered and
I do have very
suffered.
specific questions,
Next
but
time I request wine.
that's
Ready
we'll
your
wait.
claps.
Oh, we have it. You want wine?
Sean.
We have wine. We have all kinds of wine.
Claps
I'm
for
worried about the
Sean.
follow-up questions.
Wine, there's scotch, there's all kinds of things.
Everyone in chat go, poor Sean.
Uh.
Oh,
Poor
Sean.
No, not poor me.
Sean,
Just
poor
fine.
Sean.
No, Neo. No, I didn't. I asked that question specifically, Neo. I didn't forget nothing.
All right, I can't read that. What is this? A chat for ants? Why is this
Is
so
it
tiny?
It's so tiny.
It's like on the
Well,
other side
that's
of the
what I
room.
said. I said you could just pinch it too, and they both
Andrea,
went.
just hashtag
They
poor
both
Sean.
did that.
No, I said
Both
it's
did that.
fine.
Rain! Oh my god, rain. Whew.
Well, I'm not the one who asked for wine, rain.
I could also go for some cheese.
Bet you Franco could go for cheese. Franco, do you want some cheese?
Time for cheese!
Oh my god.
Chat for ants.
So funny.
Okay, I have one last question. We've been on this for a long time now. Let's get out of here. What's something you want to improve about your stream for 2024? What's
Can
one
you
thing?
ask that again? I wasn't.
What's
Oh,
something?
just for me?
Of course, I know they're all just doing whatever they're doing. Jeez.
You know all
You're
of this.
asking.
You know that we're all just gonna do it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I need smarter.
Sean,
Nobody
what
redeemed.
are you
Nobody
trying to
redeemed
show them?
hydrate here.
I've been
I
all
got
around
it.
these people. I'm
Nobody
surprised.
redeemed hydrate.
Let them have it. I got you water too, you big baby. Hydrate, all of you.
Okay, last question, then we're wrapping this shit up.
Okay.
What? Nice, thank you.
Something better for your
What's something you want to improve?
Ready? You first, and then we will go.
What?
You guys are
What are you
bad.
doing? What are you doing? Who asked? Who said this? Nobody said this. Get out of here.
Rude!
Danny, what is one thing you would like to improve about your stream in 2024? They're muted now. They're gone now. Actually, I could just do this. They're also here. Oh no! Oh God! Wrong button. There we go.
They're not muted. That's the best part.
They're not. Oh well, they're kind of hearing.
Oh, 'cause they
us.
hear through
Yeah,
here.
it's because they're so
Yeah,
fucking
it's
loud.
What's too loud?
The limit does not
Okay,
exist.
all right.
Like technical improvements?
Oh, I guess I should bring you back. Here we go. Oh, whoops. There we go. There we go. But also maybe that. Just one. Just quick. There we go.
First try! Zan, I
Zan
saw
said
it.
nothing. Don't
Zan,
worry
I
about it.
saw it. I saw it. Zan, I saw it.
Are you clapping now? What's happening? Are we syncing our audio for the recording?
Yes.
Oh my god.
We're a little late. 3.5 hours.
Your
We're
hands
just.
floated. Do it again. Do it again.
Sean is so over all of us.
Never again.
Oh, I'm getting kicked out now. Okay,
No,
wait.
you're good. You're good. You're good. We're all good.
Okay.
All right. What's something you want to improve? No, it doesn't even have to be technical. Could be anything.
Wow.
Could be anything. Could be something about you. Could be something about the stream. Could be something technical.
That's like I've got such a ginormous list
You
of
could
things
give
to do.
yourself
literally
more
anything.
time to
Okay.
put
No, don't help
into
her.
the
Don't help
stream.
this lady.
Let me.
Let's just let this lady answer a question.
You're so mean.
More,
Don't help her.
more
And you
relaxed
start.
days.
They're not
Yeah,
used
be
to
more
being
relaxed.
startled
More
by
relaxed.
you.
Yeah.
Stop that.
I know. It's like, answer the question.
So mean. Nah.
Be more relaxed. Good answer. Good answer.
Startler.
And then I'm gonna try to.
How will you do
Don't let
that?
him bully you like that.
How will
When
you
he
do
asks
that?
you,
Okay.
tell him to shut his mouth.
Okay, I can't wait. What a fucking boner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna. It's because my problem is I'm like, oh, I've got the December break, and then I'm good. I'll just keep working until the December break. So actually having like 1 day off a week that I'm committing to. And Danny's used to be starting to being startled
Wait,
by
say that.
Sean,
Let's say that again. Sorry, what was that?
Spending 1 day off a week.
Directly to the camera, please.
This year in 2024, I'm gonna take 1 day off a week.
That's right.
It's like a campaign video.
That's right.
And I need you to hold me accountable.
That's right. And we all will.
Yes.
We're all in here. Also, hi, Eddie.
Hi, Eddie. And technically, I mean, I don't think this is gonna happen this year unless I have time off, which I'm hoping that I do. But I would really like to loop with Ableton. It's been a big goal.
Nice.
Very good.
I've had
Loop
my
with
training,
Ableton.
my training wheels for a long time. But
Excellent.
if I don't have time off, then that's not my goal.
Okay. Okay.
Then my goal
right, then
is
we-
to
and then-
explore
and yeah.
3 new overlays, but they're secrets.
Okay. Amazing. That's great. Good to have secrets. Well, it's good. That sounds like nice goals.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yours.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, Kim.
Gee, I listen. I'm trying
What's
to
something you
avoid you
wanna
getting shouty requests.
Yes.
I turn gently, softly. Hello,
Okay.
Kim.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay.
Kim. Hey.
Okay.
How are you?
Well, I would like to move into a space where I have a designated room for streaming and yoga stuff.
That's such a good goal.
It's a big
Yeah,
goal.
That's a big goal. Yeah. I would like to teach at a physical studio less. Yeah. Yeah. If I could get down to like maybe 1 or 2 classes a week.
Yeah. How many are you doing now?
I do 4 classes a week now.
4 classes a week at a studio.
At
outside,
a studio, yeah. And then I also do like usually 1 or maybe 2 lecturing slots a month at the teacher training, and then I do a queer and trans and friends yoga once a month. So I would like to keep the cutie yoga.
Sure.
Teacher training for now is really nice, but I think in the studio I'd like to do it a little. I mean, I guess a lot less. Really, I'm talking about going from 4 to 1 or maybe 2. So I'd like to have the physical space that allows me to focus more on whatever all of this is, which will, I think, help me to create a more mindful space when it comes to yoga, like one-on-one stuff and Patreon generally. Yeah. Yeah, I think those are my main goals. Yeah. Yep.
I think
Those sound
during the streaming, like we both had those moments where we're like, okay, a dedicated space for that. And just having the dedicated space is huge. You got this.
Yeah.
You're going to crush at all of those because you also make baby goals. You make baby goals and then you crush them. We've talked about this before. It's a true fact of Kim. You can take the anxious crown, but that is you will. And also those are really good because those are things that you can control. And I think one of the cool things about those kinds of goals is goals like I will get 1,000 follows. Where does that?
Yeah, you can't. You can't do that.
You don't control
that. We were talking about having viewer count all turned off. What am I going to do? Stream harder? Because I'm like, the views are going up or down. I don't know. All of those goals are healthy. None of those are healthy.
Yeah.
Ditch all of them.
Done.
Apparently they're going to vote for me. Hashtag 1 day off a week.
Yeah, I think that's great. I saw that, yeah. And also hashtag less in-person, more yoga.
Yes.
We got many hashtags. That's good. Hashtags for 2024.
Less in person, more yoga is actually a great way to put that. Because it is more.
Yeah.
Doing less, achieving more.
Yeah.
Golganak is killing the hashtags.
Right?
Very good.
So much.
Yeah. Thank you, Golganak. Also, hi.
Hi. My goal is to do one single raid doodle at a time that the raid comes in. One time in 2024. I would like to find a way to somehow find a balance of like greeting and acknowledging people, which is largely a community activity now when people are coming in, because we do have more people just sort of coming in and kind of looking around and going, what is going on? Often they come in and they're like, I got a sub here. Why do I, and like that energy at first, which on my self-conscious days, I might interpret as I got a sub here. I immediately don't know why and what is the value. Like on my self-conscious days, I will read that and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I, on my better days, will make a joke out of it and be like, I know, and I want to formally apologize to you. And like unfollows are free, run for your life, all of that, which is tongue-in-cheek, but also true, because the more people that come in that are like, what's going on, the more I try to think consciously about like, how do you welcome someone into
chaos?
Yeah, it's very hard, right?
And it is the ambassadors in the community, really, that do it, that run up to the new kid at the door of the classroom and say, take my hand, we're on a roller coaster juggling flaming machetes. Come with us, it's wonderful. And that's, I don't know, I want to find a way to encourage that and support it.
Yeah, I think Katarina actually said this quite a while ago. I don't even know if I could scroll back, but I think Katarina had said something like it's really hard getting into communities sometimes, but it's really worth the journey. You know, of
welcoming
like
people in,
coming in and like understanding everything that's going on. I think when we were looking at the backgrounds, I think it was Katarina.
Getting people in on the joke. I hate the idea of people coming in and it feels like we're all. What did Carrot? Carrot. Maybe it was even you that said that. I feel like Carrot one time was like missing one of Brenda's streams is like missing a season of your TV show.
Yeah,
which is hilarious, and I'm flattered. But also, that's important. I gotta catch you up. I gotta catch you up as quick as possible because that matters. I want you to feel like you belong here as quickly as possible because you absolutely do. Yeah. So I don't know. Thinking about that's a pretty fluffy, nebulous goal, but
no. But I think so. The goal. I think one of the goals in there, and I think it was funny because I think Rain just said it.
Was it you? Yeah.
Yeah, Danny doesn't need to do that because Franco does it, but I think that's like, so I know that kind of happens organically in your chat, Brenda, but could a goal be that I need 2 or 3 like people?
The VIPs, I mean, the funny kind of side effect of patrons being VIPs is that they're also kind of the most diehard, high octane core version of your audience. And I think about the people that I would elect to explain the stream or explain what I do, and I'm not in the room. And those are my ambassadors. And they're all like, you're all in. You're all, I list job finding, and you're all in the stream, in the chat. And it isn't necessarily specifically being a patron, but it's ambassadors of the community that I think are doing that work when I can't do it individually when it's no longer scalable to do it one-on-one as people come in, which is a huge privilege. What an honor. What a beautiful problem to have.
Yeah.
Oh, so many people. It's hard to greet them. Shut up.
No, but it is. No, but
I
it
do care
is.
about that.
Yeah,
I care
it
about
is.
that very much. I care about people feeling welcomed very much. Because I have been so welcomed.
I'm so sorry. Well, just
really
that
funny.
sometimes you leave it up to the community.
Good job,
they just
Katarina.
respond with nonsense, and then you're like, okay, well, here's what it actually is. But that was something like I was super scared of coming into the online environment at first, right? And every time I go into a new chat, like honestly, every time I unlurk in anybody's channels, I feel scared. I feel worried about derailing people's streams. I feel worried about somebody's stream becoming about me, and that really bothers me. I sometimes feel awkward like raiding in, and so I lurk a lot. Like it just got to that point where I didn't want to be this disruption, and there's magic happening that I could just witness, and I didn't need to unlurk or do anything like that. But whenever I was unlurking in new communities, when I started streaming just to go meet people, or like somebody had been really nice on my chat and I wanted to see what they were up to, go and unlurk, and that feeling like nobody acknowledges your presence. Not even the streamer.
Oh, that's weird.
And so then I'm just commenting like a few times, then I feel again that feeling like I'm just being a burden by having any kind of presence here, and that sometimes like even the moderators talking around you, just talking to other community members or just to the moderators. And that was such an unsettling feeling as somebody new to the internet who hadn't spent a lot of time online, that I didn't want anybody to ever feel like that. And so sometimes, especially, this was like 2 months into me streaming in 2020 in that July, Franco had just started moderating as well, and he was like somebody just in the chat who would always say hi to everybody. And I was like, that's so important, and I need that. So that was like a really conscious thing for all of our moderators. It's like as soon as there's somebody new, please, if you could say hi, especially if I'm busy, because I know what it feels like to unlock.
Oh my God, that's huge.
Such a tone set.
Do you remember, Brenda, when you first started your Discord and Zan? Do you remember when people would welcome Zan? I don't know if you're still here.
Welcome.
But it was insane.
And
Zan would like welcome people, would write an entire paragraph.
There was
it was
a
this
whole
like it was huge.
It was
And it was a huge part of building that community.
Part. I think those
Zan.
things
You're
you
Zan.
cannot. I'm Zan, but you cannot underestimate the impact of the, and then it reached a point where that wasn't specifically sustainable, but Zan had set a tone that we are so excited. We are uncontainably excited about new friends, and that absolutely has a ripple effect.
Luke giving everybody a sub that immediately when they come in,
Hype
boom,
snipers.
immediately
Hype
people
snipers.
feel good about it. I mean, I don't think anybody should do that full time all the time. Like you should probably stop. But like all those little things, that's where like I think chat is so helpful.
Nino
and it
is
like
a known hype sniper. Hey, right buttons,
helpful.
how are you? Good to see you.
Right buttons.
But that is, all of those tone sets to say like you are
all
welcome
super
here.
helpful. Yeah.
And
It
also
come join us.
helps it stand out if anybody is going to be inappropriate or even just weird or rude or unkind to people. You either nip it in the bud because it's very awkward to be mean after a whole room's been like, hi, wow, hi. Like I genuinely think you reduce that behavior. And also anything even a little off stands out so much because the vast majority are like, oh my gosh, welcome in. So even someone like a little
Oh God, yeah. I love when people come in and they are rude or they do something bad and they just like get disappeared.
Yeah,
like even if the mods don't even like, I love when that happens. When they just like kind of slowly just like disappear because everybody else is just being nice and they're playing the thing and like the streamer doesn't care. The chat's just like, oh, we don't care. We're ignoring you. You're rude. Whatever. Blah 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 blah. And like just gone. They're just gone. And then they disappear. That's like, oh my God, I love that. That's my favorite. I love that more than like banning someone because I'm just like, you were ignored. You tried to be mean, it didn't work, you dummy. Take one of those.
It is really funny when they reappear though with the same username who we were like, oh, that person was not kind, and they reappear and they're super nice.
Oh, yeah, that's
Remember,
true.
like, we out nice
Yeah.
you, now you're nice.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
You caught the niceness.
Don't feed the trolls.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Don't feed the trolls.
Exactly.
Let them starve.
Yeah, reward
Hi, small
undesirable
beans.
behavior with inattention. Sometimes that's not a luxury that we
No,
have,
no,
obviously,
yeah, for
but
sure.
when it's available.
It's nice when it happens. All right, what do we think? Should we wrap this up?
Are you all
It's been a
sick
lovely
of this?
chat.
Aren't you,
Lovely,
chat?
what, how many
So
hours?
3.5 hours. Yeah. It's been a lovely chat. I thought maybe we were gonna do this for like an hour or two. We were like, yeah, maybe an hour, maybe two. That'd be nice. You know, and then we'll wrap this up.
Of my face and voice right now.
Well, there's a lot to say though.
There's a lot to say, and we haven't even covered everything. And I do think we're gonna
Yeah.
try and do this again, whether it's us four with other folks or whatever.
Don't you test me.
Yay! Eddie Cosmo! Yay! Yay!
You will receive 14 pins.
There will be no pins
I
for
will send
nobody
you
ever.
14 pins.
No pins for
The
no one.
pins
Thanks,
are
Eddie.
mandatory. They are mandatory pins.
No pins for me.
Mandatory
No
pins.
pins. My pin's gonna have a, well, you know.
Okay, wow. Is that the energy we're rating out with?
Yeah, it might be. It could be. You don't
Thank
know.
you for being here, friends. Thank you for being so
Yeah.
generous with your energy. And thanks
Thank
for
you.
organizing this.
Yes.
Yeah, we did it. We
Yes.
did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
We did it.
Thanks
Was
for
it
putting
right?
our cozy backgrounds up. Oh
Whoa!
my
TFK! Whoa, that's a big.
Lurk with
Yeah, unlurks with a big old Tono. Wow!
DMK, I will
Oh,
send you
truly
one
grateful.
carton
Truly grateful.
of milk.
Thank
you will
you.
receive
Yeah, yeah.
one
He
carton
can get
of
he
milk.
can get some milk.
Not a
Yeah,
pen.
that's
you
true.
will receive a
He gets some
carton
milk.
of milk. The milk is
It's part of
mandatory.
being in the
It's
community, you know,
mandatory.
Kim? You kind of have to understand the things and how it works.
Thank
It's
you
okay.
for being a boner.
Don't
I'm
feel left
so
out or anything.
fucking
It's okay.
happy about
oh,
it.
A golden gilded pen for glued. A golden pen.
Also, all these donations just mean more of these things, means more podcasts. We're working on a bunch of podcasts. We're working on a bunch of shows. We're working on all kinds of stuff that we're doing, mostly self-funded. And we're
good
just trying to put
question
stuff
from
out.
Katarina.
What's that? Are you
You're
going to
gonna
save
save
that? Yes, there will be a VOD. It will be uploaded. I'm probably going to unlist it, put it on YouTube, and the link will be in the Discord. I'm also, there may be an audio version somewhere. Hey, Premise! Yay! Radio feed!
Prebis will receive a white cat pin. The pin will be a white cat. It will have two halos. Two halos on Prebis's white cat. Pin.
Also, you're a boner, and I love that about you.
Thank you, everybody. That all means so much. It all goes towards helping other people do more things, and that's cool.
Awesome.
You're all so great. Helping people do shit.
Why we cry all the
Helping
time?
do people
Do
shit.
you
No,
get it?
I don't cry none. I'm excited. Hooray for doing more cool shit.
Great.
There will be no crying. There will be no crying. There will be no crying over here.
my God.
Only more cool
Prebis
shit.
is a literal
Very
angel.
good recall. Literal
Thank you.
angel. It's very good.
Right?
Thank you. Okay, before we go, don't tell me if you tell me one more thing. Oh, hey, thanks, Go for coming along. What's going on in your life? What's new? What's coming up? Don't tell me about your fucking April concert. Nobody cares about that from way down the road. What's a new? What's something coming up soon? Soon.
I'm streaming on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
Hooray.
That's great.
Come
That's
and
nice.
tell me it's a weird dream you had, and maybe we'll make it a weird collage.
Also, your Patreon to feel
Oh
better.
yeah,
Yeah, Patreon. Yeah.
Patreon. Yeah. Are you like, oh my god, who's this person fucking calling me a boner all the time? I wonder if they're anything else. I am. I'm so much more than that. Come to my Patreon and maybe I'll let you relax. You fucking boner.
Oh, that is soon. That's right, Franco. That's soon. That's good. Brandon, what do you got going on? No, what do you got going on? We're going around.
Just the regular schedule. Monday, I will be on stream 3 p.m. Mondays at 3, Wednesdays at 5, and Fridays at noon. Also, if you go into my chat, the exclusive purpose you should be in there is to drop !happen, and we have the little sign-up sheet for all of the projects.
Yeah, that's a cool thing.
2024. If you want to get behind the scenes a little bit and help steer the ship, that is an amazing way to do it.
5 points to Andrea.
I will be listening to Kim's lovely bite-size.
They're only valid in Kim's stream. They don't give a shit about points
to
here.
calm me down, and then I will be reading all of the lovely things, including a lovely new.
Whoa, Chad! Being a boner fee!
Wow.
Thanks for being a boner!
17 pens. 17 pins for Chad. Raddest of Chads.
He deserves
Raddest
all
of
of
Chads.
Thanks, Chad.
And then I'm gonna go read Danny's Patreon updates. And
Yeah.
get excited for the big return from break stream. Oh, wait, tomorrow. Everybody get ready.
But you should check out Brenda's Patreon, which is there. Andrea does.
Yeah, Andrea just dropped it.
Andrea,
She's all over it.
magical
Geronimo
mail.
is friend.
5 more points to Andrea.
Don't care about points.
Very, very cool tiers.
Danny, what you got going on?
Cool.
What's new? What's exciting? What's happening? You're coming back, 2024.
Coming back.
Rain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talk about like taking breaks. Like I do annually take this break at this time.
No, I know that.
So this is our first
This is great.
stream back in 2024.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I've got an 18-point list of things to cover and do. So don't interrupt me.
Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up, chat.
Don't.
Don't do it.
New
Wish you luck.
semester isn't. Don't. Sass,
I'm sorry.
Don't you sass me.
Is it an
Thought
18?
about getting a bigger bowl. Thought about getting a smaller itemized list. I've never thought about either.
Doing something on stream ever.
You can imagine.
So I'm gonna cover 2.6 of those points in a 4-hour stream.
Yeah, there you go.
Hopefully. So it's gonna be very fun. Dino Sunday every Sunday. We have family dinner on Discord if you want to join. Movies and games every week. I've got a new schedule because new semester. So Sundays always stay the same, but I'm gonna be doing Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and Thursdays at 10 a.m. So
Selfishly, I love this schedule.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's very good.
Nice.
Very fun. Just right in between.
We get to hang out.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased. So pleased.
So it's gonna be a very fun time. And studio's coming up, studio week, and we live in the studio. If you want to join, then it's gonna be a pretty chaotic, super fun winter.
Oh yeah, when's that coming up?
Studio week's last week of February, but next studio session is January 15th.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Look,
I thought you were gonna
Andrea's
say
got
way.
Danny's
I was.
Patreon. Andrea, you're
Oh, that's good.
crushing.
February's good. February's great.
Andrea,
You are
February's great.
crushing.
I love it.
Another
It's
5
exciting.
points for Andrea.
No,
We love
no
you,
points.
Andrea.
No points for
Don't listen
everybody
to
here.
Sean.
We don't care
Okay,
about points
Sean's
here.
a boner. Don't listen to him.
No
Listen.
points
Sean's
here.
not even the star of this.
This one's for Kim. That one's for Kim.
We're
right.
watching dinosaurs tomorrow. We are. I know, Kat. It's very exciting.
Watch Jurassic Park. There you
You
go.
can watch
Nice.
Jurassic Park.
Nice. I just got podcasts. I got podcasts.
So many
Listen to the podcast. Podcasts come back. We did our last one. The next one's coming up on Monday. There'll be a podcast every second Monday from now until the end of the year. With a little break in between. There's going to be more streams. And I don't know what else. Lots of things. But mostly go to the website. Mostly go to the Do More Cool Shit website. Check out things there. We're starting to build that up. That's starting to come along. And you'll see everything and all the things are going to be there. But thank you so much for coming in now. Thanks for a great stream. This has been Creator Catch It Check-In. And this has been episode 1. We're going to do episode 2 probably in a quarter. Probably in the next quarter. We're going to try and aim for like every quarter maybe. We'll see how that goes.
Sweet, friends.
But
Thanks
speaking-
for being
Oh my
here.
God.
Speaking
You're
of
the loveliest.
supporting folks, we're going to raid out. We're also going to be raiding into someone who has
I'm so curious.
who has benefited from DMCS and all the folks that are here and doing all the things. Voice Unmuted
Oh,
is someone who we have
A
helped support get
delight.
into the studio, make a lot of things, and we're going to do that.
Such a pleasure.
So thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, friends.
Bye. Wow, it didn't even take 2 hours
Keep-
to raid.
Keep
That's so
waving,
weird.
everybody.
2 hours.
See you later.
And now the 2 hour.
They can still hear you, just so you know.
So,
Yeah, 2
They can still
hours.
hear you.
And just
love
as
you
part
all
of
so
the stream.
much.
You're all great. You're all wonderful.
All of your pins are in the
people.
mail. All of your
You're
pins.
just
There's
perfect.
no
All of your
pins, no
pins.
points,
So
no
many
boners
pins.
here. Nobody
All
cares.
getting
Thanks so much for
many
tuning
there's
in.
a
You
pin.
guys have
There's
all
one
been
there.
great.
Oh
Sending
my God, this is
everyone
so
good.
a pin.
You
You get
wait
a
to-
pin, and
Good
you
job.
get a
It's
pin,
not Kim, I
and
hear you.
you get a pin.
Andrea, how dare
and
you?
get
Minus
a
10
pin.
points for Andrea.
This seems like the
You
nice
get a
ending.
pin.
I like this ending.
You get a pin.
It's all very nice.
And you get a
Relaxing.
pin.
That's
And
all.
Wow.
you get
Yeah, I
a
kinda like it.
pin.
This is the strangest.
get a
What?
pin.
This is a weird way to
You
say
get
this.
a
Poor
pin.
Andrea's
in your
brain
life.
is
Also, you
exploding.
can have
This may be my favorite way to end.
You
Yeah.
get a pin.
And everybody's like so close to their
Everyone
Yeah,
microphones.
we're really
pin.
coming right in there. You gotta
Sean's
zoom
gonna get
right in.
17 pins. He's
Oh
gonna
my-
be
yeah,
so
Andrea, you
angry.
did lose your points. It's your
He's
own
so
fault.
angry
You
about
did it
all the
to
pins.
yourself.
Very good.
Okay, now we're not there anymore.
Very good.
Is that? Oh, okay. Oh.
1, 2, 3.